The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. What is it? We don't know. The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. Here we go, it's the Gun Shop Show.
Hey everybody, happy Halloween. This is the Gun Shop Show. I'm your host, Eli Bruton, and we got a great show planned for you today. I did, however, change up the lineup a little bit. Got a few different people helping me with the show. Today, the person running the controls and making everything happen, our producer for this special episode of the Gun Shop Show, is Mr. Garth Algar.
Hi.
And then to my right is normally our resident gun bunny, but this week it's my man Brogan Bones. Brogan Bones. So a lot of good things lined up for you today on this Halloween episode of the Gun Shop Show. We're going to talk about a new interpretation of a regulation by the ATF that may have a bearing on your ability to own a popular AR or AK pistol, which is something that a lot of people are buying these days.
Well, the ATF seems to be trying to get in the news as much as possible lately.
Yeah. We also have some monkey-related news, which, believe it or not, is separate from the ATF-related news.
And from normal business as usual.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I want to remind you that if you would like to win today, you need to go to Facebook, share the feed.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is click share and tag 5 friends. And when you do that, you're going to get a chance to win today's prize, which
is it?
A $100 gift card to
100?
Liberty Tree Guns, the absolute best gun store in the world. We're your friends in the gun business, and we want to give you $100 today. That I want to make it clear. Every episode when we do this, we draw from a pool of people who have shared and tagged 5 friends, and the odds are pretty darn good.
Super high.
So it's not like we say we might draw a name or it's over months or years. Like literally every episode we do a giveaway. Last week's giveaway was a Heritage Rough Rider revolver, so we'll announce the winner of last week's coming up. But if you want to win, and if you're listening on the radio on one of our great partners like News Talk, KZRG,
what do you got to do?
Joplin, or Springfield's Talk 104.1, all you have to do to see what we're talking about, and we got some awesome guns coming up. We took in quite a eccentric collection of Blackpowder rifles. We're going to break those down with our sales manager, Gary. And if you want to see those, get a visual, lay eyeballs on those guns, you just go to the live stream to Facebook, which is where you can share and win that $100 gift card.
It's so simple.
Super
it's so
easy.
simple.
Incredibly simple.
So, really excited to be with you on Halloween. A lot of good things happening on Halloween. One of those being the final giveaway night for the High Winds Casino All-American Gun giveaway, and we may give you some more details on that. But what you need to know is you need to go to High Winds Casino and play, like, today, so you can get entered.
Today is the last day.
Yeah. So a lot of good things coming up, and we'll cover all of those. I'm very excited to have you guys looking the way you do in these costumes.
Yeah, well, hey, you're welcome. I did it for you, man.
This is my natural
I dress
hair.
like this for you. Yeah, we don't know.
I got a really
He actually puts on a short hair wig every day.
That's true.
That's true. He's letting it all hang out today.
Just all
Earlier,
natural.
I said you were going to be looking like Garth, and you said, yeah, I'm going to do my best Garth impression.
Yeah.
That lasted less than 1 full second and 1 word.
That's all it takes, man.
Can you do it again?
And it really wasn't that great. How about, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. That's pretty good.
That was pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Let's see yours. Let's do your character.
It's just me. There's no character. It's just
That's all it takes, man.
You look normal.
I know.
Yeah.
This is
You
always
actually
have
look
his hair.
fantastic.
Yeah.
You look like he actually just got done exercising too. A little
I
bit.
did.
And I don't even know why.
I did some push-ups. Actually, they're push-downs. But
Oh,
I worked the core, upper core, this section here.
yeah. The chorus
But specifically
maximus.
here.
You're not going for bulk, you're going for tone, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna start a group. It's gonna be
Getting my-
called Tony.
Yeah,
Getting my winter body ready.
guys, I really struggled with my costume for today's episode.
Yeah. What did you come up
Oh,
with?
you're not wearing one?
I thought if I'm going to do this, I want to do it right.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So I want to do something really scary.
Oh. What?
You know.
Like a wolf man?
Like a vampire?
Well, that's what I was struggling with.
Zombies
I was
are pretty
thinking,
hot right now.
I want something.
Serial killer? You going serial
And I
killer?
think one of the things about Halloween that appeals to people is they want to be a little bit scared.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily want to pick something that scares other people.
Right.
You want to pick something that you're scared of that
Yeah.
makes you on edge.
That's
Okay.
good thinking, man.
You know,
that's
that
good
makes
thinking.
sense to me.
I thought for a gun store owner, as the owner of Liberty Tree Guns,
Yeah.
I would be the scariest thing that I could think of.
Yeah. What, like the Department of Labor or something?
No. I decided that I would be the ATF.
Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh.
Oh, the ATF's here.
And then I was like, how does one go about being the ATF?
That apparently donning a hat
Pure evil.
I thought
and making arbitrary rules.
being totally unpredictable. All you have to do to be the ATF is wear a stupid looking hat and be totally unpredictable.
Now, I have to ask you, from a fashion sense, is it really stupid looking? Because it's pretty plain and you know who they are.
Yeah.
That's it? Those are the criteria for stupid hat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks stupid.
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to find things out, man.
Yeah, it was only recently that stupid looking trucker hats became popular.
Yeah, I need to get me one of those.
Yeah. It recently, like, you can build a whole following around a stupid looking trucker hat.
Well, at least it's not stupid looking trucker hat with flat bill, too.
True.
Yeah, that's
You're not
just
a
that's a
flat bill guy?
merging of silliness.
So, I thought to do my costume, I will just make baseless declarations.
Okay.
So,
Are you also going to shut yourself down?
yeah, that'd be good. So I've been working on being really inefficient.
Okay.
I try to be different every time I open my mouth.
Yeah.
Uh,
Gotcha.
A customer walked by, and I said, "Sir, your blood pressure is too high." And he said, "How do you know that?" I said, "Doesn't matter. I said it. It has to be true."
Well, hey, if
Yeah.
you say it, it has to be true.
It wasn't based on
correct.
anything. I just woke up this morning thinking that I would start telling people that.
And then he was arrested.
And then he went to prison.
Immediately.
So that brings me to the story here. This is the article that I'm going to reference is from ammoland.com. And it talks about the scare that all gun dealers are talking about this week. And it is the law office of Wiley Rain caused a stir on the internet by releasing a client alert that theorized the ATF may move to make AK pistols and AR pistols NFA items. So this is a law firm that seeks to guide FFL dealers through compliance issues with the ATF, and they put out an alert, hey, this may be going down, which is what sort of spurred this.
Hey, so you mentioned something. You said the word theorize, right? Is that word in the article that he was theorizing this?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I heard that correctly.
Yes. Now, it's going to go on to say why that theory exists and what the ATF did that possibly spurred that.
Okay.
But if you just joined us, coming up, we're going to be breaking down quite an interesting collection of consignment guns here at Liberty Tree Guns. Let me take off my ATF hat because I want you guys to know that you can trust what I'm about to say.
Let's back. The ATF was here.
It was like you were powerless when you were the ATF with what you were getting ready to read, and now you truly are powerless because you are no longer the ATF.
That's right. No more power. I felt the power leave my body. I felt the desire to burn a building full of women and children leave me.
Wow.
Immediately when I took the hat off.
That's dark, man.
Incredibly dark.
Yeah. I put it back on. I'm sure the feeling will come right back.
Yeah.
It's Halloween.
Watch out, Texas.
Wow.
Watch out, Waco.
Yikes.
So this collection of consignment guns is awesome for a lot of reasons. One is these are some one of a kind. Truly, you'll never see another gun like what we have to show you. But also want to remind you that if you listen to the show and you think, I want to do business with my friends in the gun business, but we know you can't buy a gun all the time. Sometimes you already have more guns than you want.
Right.
And we can help you with that.
Yes, we can.
We became one of the highest volume used gun dealers in the country for a reason. We're very skilled at selling your used guns. Our consignment program has a over 95% success rate selling used guns. You bring them in, you set the price. We take care of shipping. We take care of having them insured. We keep them behind lock and key or secure on the sales floor. And we take care of creating a gun broker listing. We list your gun on libertytreeguns.com, which has tens of thousands of visitors every month. We also put it on other websites like gun.deals and Gunspot. All of that included, no extra fee, nothing out of pocket. So we take our small fee when your gun sells. So literally all you have to do is bring your gun in, or go to libertytreeguns.com, use the contact page, let us know that you have a gun or guns for that you'd like to consign, and we'll send you everything you need to put your guns on consignment with your friends in the gun business on the Gun Shop Show. Hey, Adam and Lauren, thanks for jumping on here so we can make an ad for the show.
Yeah, absolutely. We're huge Second Amendment advocates and big supporters of Liberty Tree and the Gun Shop Show.
All right, so for the ad, we're going to want to go over what you offer.
We do all the standard auto, home insurance, life insurance.
We also do a lot of rental property, whether that be commercial rental or residential, duplexes, apartment complexes, single-family dwellings. And we have specialty policies for all your firearms.
You have commercial coverage on my rental properties, so we can put that in the ad too. And I was thinking that we'll talk about how you're big supporters of the store and how you come in the store pretty much every day on your lunch break and buy guns.
Maybe don't mention the everyday thing because my wife does watch the show, but we've been known to come in occasionally.
Every once in a while.
All right, guys, I think that we have everything we need to make an ad, so once I get it done, I'll give you guys a holler to check it out. Trevor, don't put it in the ad, but those guys are in here literally every day on their lunch break. Hey everyone, the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by Carthage Lock and Key. If you need anything to do with a lock or a key
To success!
Did they tell you to say that?
No, I just thought it sounded good.
They have a mobile service, so they can come to you and cut pretty much any kind of key.
To success!
Or if you lock your keys in your
To
car.
success!
I'm talking even security modern chip keys.
To success!
Trevor, could you just jingle the name of the business? Okay.
Yeah, I'll do it good this time.
So, with all of my properties and all of the needs I have, I trust
Carthage Lock and Key! To success!
It's been a pleasure over the last 18 months serving both the Mount Vernon and the Carthage community with all their wireless needs, whether that's small business or keeping your family connected. Visit us at 100 George E. Phelps Boulevard, Carthage, Missouri, or 417-317-6342.
If you need a simple upgrade, to add a line, or need help with a plan change, come by and let one of our representatives help you out. Our Mount Vernon location is located at 318 West Mount Vernon Boulevard. Our phone number is 417-737-9669, or you can visit our Facebook page at Verizon Wireless Mount Vernon.
We have all the accessories for your favorite models, such as the S20 Ultra, maybe it's the 11 Pro Max, or the Google Pixel 4.
For just a simple plan change, an upgrade, or to add a new line to your account, stop by one of our convenient locations or check us out on social media. To get connected or stay connected to Verizon Wireless, the nation's best network.
Thank you.
We will see you soon.
This is Russell. I gotta go. It's time for the Gun Shop Show.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show, joined by Garth and Brogan once again.
Hi, guys.
We were just breaking down before the break the new position that the ATF has taken.
What's that?
And I'm continuing to read from the article. Firearms are generally not importable under U.S. Code 922. However, there is an exception for importable guns for any firearm that is 1, not a NFA firearm, 2, not a military surplus firearm, and 3, meets the sporting purposes test. However, the ATF ATF chooses to define that test ? There is not a clear definition.
You mean the government's being very indirect?
Very, very vague.
What? Look, hey,
ATF's back.
ATF agent, booger sniffer.
Yeah.
You have some questions to answer.
I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
how do I do this and remain compliant? And they're like,
I'll have it. Like donut and grill. I would.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like,
Double.
I couldn't understand.
Double.
Like, sorry, I was cutting out. I'm like, we're talking in person. Mm-hmm. How are you cutting out?
Yep.
And do they typically lean back like that too?
Yeah.
All super cash.
Yeah. According to the ATF, these guns fail the test because the manufacturers did not design them for the user to fire them one-handed. These guns are too long or too heavy to meet the sporting purpose test. The Gun Control Act defines a handgun as a firearm with a short stock that the manufacturer designed for the user to fire with one hand. If a gun is not a handgun or a rifle or a shotgun, then it is just a firearm under the Gun Control Act. The ATF considers stripped AR-15 lowers as only firearms. So if the ATF thinks an AR or an AK pistol isn't a handgun, it would still be a firearm under the Gun Control Act. This reclassification doesn't affect the pistol under the Gun Control Act. The problem is the National Firearms Act, NFA. NFA defines what constitutes an NFA firearm, which is any of the items that we have to do the $200 tax stamp on and use our kiosk to get like a suppressor. This definition is separate from a Gun Control Act firearm. It's only conceivable NFA classification into which an AK or AR pistol would fall into any other weapon. AOW. An AOW is defined as any weapon or device capable of being concealed on the person from which a shot can be discharged through the energy of an explosion. Such terms shall not include a pistol. So, what's happening is, let me finish this and then I'll come back and break this down a little better. The NFA does not define what is and isn't a pistol. The ATF defines a pistol and lists some chapters here. I'm not going to read the numbers. As a weapon originally designed, made, and intended to fire a projectile when held in one hand. The ATF uses the Gun Control Act definition of a handgun for the NFA term pistol. This definition means that the firearm manufacturer did not design it to fire with one hand. The ATF is now saying that pistols, based on rifles, weigh too much and are too long to be fired with one hand.
Disagree.
Strongly disagree.
I disagree with that. I feel like it really comes down to the individual. There are people who shoot handguns with two hands. There are people who can shoot long guns with one hand.
And the truth is, you train anyone to shoot a handgun as effectively as possible using two hands.
Right.
Any handgun of any size.
Yeah, unless you're like a thug on the street and you got to turn it sideways and be cool when you're shooting it. Other than that, you're probably going to be using two hands.
Yeah.
It just makes more sense.
And not only that, like all these things that you've just listed off to me are kind of, it depends on the individual, right? So how do you put regulation on who can and cannot shoot a specific firearm with one hand?
Well, this comes back to a couple years ago when AR pistol braces were reaching a high level of popularity. And this is, we did a whole episode on this. They're designed to help you stabilize and, in fact, fire a AR pistol more easily with one hand. However, they were being used in a practical sense more like a shoulder stock.
Right.
The manufacturers were taking the position that that's not how they were intended, and if someone does that, well, initially the ATF put out a statement saying, if you do this, you're committing a felony.
Right.
Which then became absurd because you can theoretically, although you'd make the argument that the Second Amendment prevents you from regulating gun laws in this way, but if you're going to say you can ban an item, you can't really ban the way that an item's used.
Right.
And so holding a firearm, for example, in a different slightly position does not make it a crime. So they came back out and said, hey, we can't regulate how people choose to use these. All we can do is speculate or work with the manufacturer on how is it intended to be used. But, it's kind of like that with anything else. Like, it's not illegal to own fertilizer. Obviously, it's illegal to mix fertilizer with the ingredients that creates a bomb.
Right.
But you can't say that everybody that has one or has fertilizer is a criminal, which is what they essentially did with, at least momentarily, taking that position against pistol braces.
Right, and this seems so preemptive that it just sounds more like unnecessary regulation with the intent of collecting more. I don't even want to call it revenue at this point, but collecting more money from the general public.
Just making it harder for certain people to own those firearms.
Right.
And so it goes on to say, the theory proposed in Wiley Rain's alert is that the ATF says certain handguns aren't importable because they aren't sporting, because they aren't designed to and intended for the user to fire them with one hand. Since they are not importable, then those same handguns could be classified as AOWs, any other weapons, under the NFA for the same reason. That's what an SBR falls under. A gun owner could conceal the firearm, and they are not pistols because the manufacturer did not design the gun for the user to fire with one hand. The alert is speculation, but it is conceivable. The timing of the reverse course on importation rules seem suspect. Some speculate it's just another move by an out-of-control agency to hurt President Trump in the eyes of gun owners. Others think that the ATF is gearing up for an all-out assault of the Second Amendment if Biden is elected. Whether the ATF has some master plan in store to turn all AK pistols and AR pistols into any other weapon remains to be seen. So just to be clear, the ATF did take a position on the topic of importing these guns. So they've put a halt on the importation of guns that meet this criteria. They're based on a rifle. They're too heavy, in their opinion, to be fired with one hand, and so they can't be imported. So the reason this attorney firm has made that leap is that if they're going to say this about the importation, the only logical step is to say this about how they're regulated domestically.
Right.
So we'll continue to break that down right back on the Gun Shop Show. Hey everybody, Eli here, and I'm really excited to tell you that the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by one of my favorite places on earth. Located here in my hometown of Carthage on the beautiful historic square, the Emporium on the square, and the Woodshed. It's a art gallery, an event center, a gift shop. They have art classes, and there's very unique Americana artwork from famous artists like Andy Thomas. They handle a lot of his original framing. Just has this incredible old school vibe, and you can feel the history coming through through. You have to check out the art gallery, but then as you work your way to the back, my favorite part, the woodshed. Had a lot of great meals in here. They've got burgers. I love their catfish. Excellent. Chicken and waffles even. It's incredible. And it's also a music venue, so we got to see my favorite band of all time, the Ben Miller Band. Ceiling was literally raining down. They were rocking so hard. But the best thing, owned by one of my favorite people on earth, that's Cherry Babcock. Check out the Emporium on the Square and the Woodshed. Hey, podcast listeners and live stream viewers, I wanted to let you know that the Gun Shop Show is made possible by our friends at Mid-America RV. Being in the customer service industry, I have a really high standard for how customers are treated. Mid-America RV does it right. I've got my RV through their dealership, and I've taken it all over the country. We made it to South Padre Island. We've gone to Colorado several times. And if you've ever owned an RV, you know there's a lot that comes with it. So who you get it from matters. And it's extremely important that you have support after the sale. They're located just outside of Carthage. They have a really vast inventory, and they are home of, I believe they call it a forever warranty. So I urge you, if you're in the market for one, to check them out. It's a really fun and can be very affordable way to get your trips in. So visit them at midamericarv.com. We appreciate their support of the Gun Shop Show. If you're in the market for a travel trailer or fifth wheel, check out Mid-America RV. The Ruger Security 9 LTO, an exclusive new firearm only from Liberty Tree Guns. This is an affordable pistol that comes with Ruger's renowned reliability and workmanship, and comes with an optic with a 3-year warranty. If you haven't ever shot a pistol with an optic on it, it's a lot of fun and you can really acquire a target quickly. All right, Ruger Security 9 LTO unboxing. So it pretty much obviously comes with everything the Ruger Security 9 would already come with, and this is how they look in the box. Ruger started doing this insert in the box, which is kind of nice. We've had to modify it a little bit to make sure that your optic fits. So there's a cutout so the cover can go on and then the gun can fit right here in that. They come with 2 mags, so a lot of price point guns, you're just getting 1 mag, but you get 2 15-round, OEM mags. A couple little bonuses is the optic comes with the AR mounts. So if you want to pull this optic off and run it on an AR, you've got everything that you need. That's a freebie, just comes in the box. Once we pull this insert out, here's where all the goodies that come with the optic. Got a 3-year warranty on the Firefield optic, the user manual. It has the tools for both mounting the optic if you want to take it off, and also the adjustment screwdriver for the windage and elevation, and then all of the factory information for your pistol. So this is the format that those will come in. And again, guys, remember, this is an option if you are excited to try out an optic on a pistol and you want to do it for a price point. So these at this price are cheaper than some guys are paying for just an optic. You're getting the gun and the optic. You can get the price and all the details at libertytreeguns.com. Just search LTO.
Hey there. We got your lab results back. It looks like you have a fever, and the only prescription is more Gun Shop Show.
Welcome back. This is the Gun Shop Show. I want to remind you that if you would like to win a $100 gift card to Liberty Tree Guns, where everything is protected by the Liberty Tree Guarantee, where we always have your back when you buy from us on anything new or used. And that $100 go toward anything, including one of our free layaway. Any gun that you want to put on layaway, you can do it for 10% down. You want to get a Glock? That's like $50.
What if you wanted to get like maybe a Gun Shop Show T-shirt? What if you wanted to get that?
You need to just go ahead and go to libertytreeguns.com, click the merch section, and we've got cool ones.
Yeah, all the cool ones.
This black one, like I have one here, and
This one,
Trevor's
like I
wearing
have.
one. Or you could get the Liberty Tree Guns rock, the Liberty Tree rock, which is a lot like the schoolhouse rock.
Yep.
Looking design. You can get that.
It's dope.
Hey, and when you buy the T-shirts and the merch, and when you choose to do business with your friends in the gun business, it helps support the show. So we can get great guests like last week when we had Joe Jorgensen on.
We had Joe Jorgensen on?
Heck yeah, we
You
did.
might not know that because we didn't get to have her in the main part of the show.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I appreciate everyone that had our back that didn't like that interview got pushed off the radio. The radio station sort of explained some things that I didn't know how they worked, and kind of admitted they should have warned me of those things earlier. So anyway, water under the bridge. We appreciate our media partners that help host the show. But if you just joined us, we were talking about a new ATF position, a position that they've taken on basically AR and AK pistols. This is any type of firearm that we consider a pistol per the regulations, the way we've been logging them in, the way that everyone treats them. You have to be 21 to get them. And then that is like an AR pistol. However, they have just recently said those are not a sporting firearm. They don't fall under that category, which means they can't be imported. Which means if they take that position...
It seems like every time the ATF takes a position, it's not a good position.
No, they're never like, you know what, guys? I think we were wrong about the whole thing. So
Those machine guns, you guys can have them now.
Oh, we're just taking a different position. There's been a lot of speculation why, because we covered the pistol brace issue with Q,
right,
and that is a pretty suspect timing on that, a whole new interpretation,
right.
So why are they doing this now? And we don't know. Like, some people speculate it's to undermine Trump. Some people speculate that it's at Trump's direction, that he's not as pro-gun as we thought. There's people that think that this is how they're going to be ran under Biden, and maybe they're already starting. They're getting an early start. Maybe they think that's the way the election's going to go.
Well, some people think that this is a little insight to inside government baseball, knowing what's going on. Like, the government agencies probably know a little more about what's going to happen with the election than we do. And that person's this person. I suspect that.
Yeah.
Like, they're positioning themselves, knowing what's going to happen next Tuesday.
So if they take the same position that they've taken on importation, that means that they may be moving to restrict the non-NFA ownership of those items domestically.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a problem, which is crazy. But you know what? It's not as crazy as our next story.
What's this?
Yeah, what's the story?
Let me tell you about...
Are you going to talk about water being found on the moon?
No.
Not that one.
They found water on the moon?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Here we go. Costco has stopped selling Thai-made coconut products due to the alleged use of forced monkey labor. People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, that's PETA, has been tracking coconut picking monkey abuse in Thailand since 2019. Their investigation found chained up monkeys can pick around 400 coconuts a day and then are stuffed in cages until their next shift.
I think they can get more coconuts out of them than that.
A representative from Amazon said, "Ooh, tell me more."
Hey, put them to work in the distribution centers.
Cages stuffed with monkeys, is that more or less than a barrel of monkeys?
I guess it depends
Are we
on
talking
the
real
size of the
monkeys?
cage.
We're talking real monkeys, fake monkeys? What's in this barrel of monkeys? Real monkeys? You can have a pretty big cage, man.
The first time I saw forced monkey labor was when I watched The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Wicked Witch.
But they weren't cool monkeys, bro.
No.
They were mean monkeys.
They were
And
bad
I
to the
wish
bone
they were
monkeys.
chained up.
Yeah, right. Right.
So
flying around.
when I first heard this story, and I thought, you got monkeys helping out with the coconut thing. Like that's a win-win-win. Monkeys probably like picking up coconuts. What a brilliant way to keep the costs down.
Right.
What a monkey's going to be doing anyway.
Yeah.
Probably not just probably getting into mischief.
I
They're curious
just don't
by
think
nature.
you.
Monkey business,
They are, but I just don't think you need to cage them up, man.
Well, I was about to say what. And then when they said, well, and they're chained up.
Yeah.
And then they're locked in a cage during their. And I'm like, okay, now it's just sad.
They're like, good
Right.
monkey, and back to your cage.
Right. Well, you incentivize the monkey. He probably just come working 9 to 5.
Working
You know?
9 to 5.
That's just monkey
Way to
business,
pick
bro.
a coconut. We actually have a song, so I don't have to sing one. Yeah.
We have one? What is it?
We have a song about this topic.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll that.
Wow.
You played it. You played it a moment ago.
Oh, yeah.
During the break.
Coconut picking in the trees. They got us working all day for 0 salary. We're Costco monkeys, and Peter said it isn't allowed to force us into working and milking us like we're cows. We might form a union, it's the only thing we can do. Stop monkey exploitation, or we'll throw our poop at you.
So if they start unionizing, man, then we're going to have organized monkey
That song was
crime.
fantastic.
It's water under the bridge because I heard about this
Yeah,
and I took swift action.
of course, you usually do.
I'm like, what is a task just slightly more dignified than picking up coconuts?
Yeah.
Slightly more complicated, but still where a monkey could do it.
Right.
And I
Okay.
think I found a solution.
What is it?
Yeah, what is it?
Milking
And
cows?
I want to be clear, the monkeys aren't totally free. Okay?
Well, no, they're not cheap.
Step in the right direction.
They're not free and they're not
Yeah.
cheap.
Well, fire up the mobile cam,
Sure, I'll get it ready.
and I'll show you. I have rescued these monkeys.
You're rescuing monkeys
And I've-
now?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we
Mobile
want to
cam is
fire up
ready.
the Pro Outfitters mobile cam. Mobile cam. And then I'll take you over and show you what
Cam
the
is
Costco
ready.
monkeys are up to today. Let's roll.
Hang on, guys. I'm trying. There. Oh, now
Oh,
we're mobile.
oh, oh,
now we're mobile.
That Pro Outfitters mobile cam works like a charm as soon as you fire it up. You can aim a little higher, bro. We're looking at the floor. All right. If you're watching on the live stream, you are seeing the Pro Outfitters mobile cam, our great partners at Pro Outfitters, where you can hunt 3 states from one lodge: white-tailed deer, turkey. Oh, there's one of the
there
monkeys.
he is. Chim Chim, hard at work. You even taught him how to scan?
We taught him how to sell guns.
Wow, that's impressive.
Now, you might notice his uniform.
Right.
We've
Well,
made
that's
it
just
clear to the monkeys that they're not free to go, okay?
Well-
no cages.
Right.
But there's an ankle monitoring system.
Cage-free monkey. Mm-hmm.
And, the task that's just barely complicated more than picking up coconuts,
What's that?
selling guns.
Oh, man.
So simple.
So simple, a monkey can do it. That's
it.
pre-caveman, bro.
So if you were worried about the Costco monkeys and the coconut milk, worry no more. Come into Liberty Tree Guns and meet. What did you call him?
Chim Chim.
Chim Chim.
Look at him, hard at work
Yeah,
there.
look at that.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't start throwing things,
Yeah.
if you know what I'm saying.
Especially
Yeah.
his you know what. All right, when we get back from the break, we'll be joined by the leader of our gun tenders here at Liberty Tree Guns. That's Gary, our sales manager, with quite the eclectic collection.
Is he a
of
monkey too?
Blackpowders, right here on the Gun Shop Show.
Buckle up, because belts just got better. With Core Essentials, the perfect fit every time. with 40-plus sizing positions. Styles for any situation. Whether in the boardroom crushing sales and taking names, on your next adventure, in the great outdoors, or when you're done for the day and ready to relax. Get your perfect fit with Core Essentials.
The High Winds Drifter.
Guns are like Halloween. Scary at first, but eventually a lot of fun.
It's the finale of the All-American Gun Giveaway at High Winds Casino. Earn entries now and be at High Winds on Halloween night when 5 lucky players will win a rifle or shotgun from Henry and Browning and pick up their new gun from Liberty Tree Guns in Carthage. It's the All-American Gun Giveaway, only at High Winds Casino, just east of Miami on Highway 10.
It's fun to win a gun.
Land is everything to me. When I was born, I was brought home to the family farm, was raised, learned work ethic there, learned appreciation and respect for life and the land itself, and it just became second nature. I had to be there all the time. Whenever I wasn't on the land, I was not happy. But I learned to understand the land, learned to respect it, learned family values. My wife and I have bought a farm besides the one we live on, and it has just been a great investment, and it's been someplace that my son and I have shared the passion of hunting together, and land has been everything in my life. It has kind of kept me focused and gave me a place to be. It's kind of kept me grounded.
Listen here, Pilgrim. This here is the Gun Shop Show.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. I'm your host, Eli Bruton, and you are hearing these voices coming from the sales floor of the best gun store in the world. That's Liberty Tree Guns. And I'm joined by my sales manager, Gary Bond. Gary, thanks for joining us on the show.
Anytime.
You helped take in quite a collection from a gentleman of some really unique Blackpowder rifles. And we're going to be breaking those down on the show. But before we do, I want to tell you how to get some free merch.
Fill those folks in.
Yeah, you're going to want to get one of the following items. You're going to want to get a bumper sticker for your car, right?
Oh, man.
You want a high gloss, UV protected, slick, shiny, will last and look good on your car.
That is nice.
That's a bumper sticker with the Liberty Tree Guns logo.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
That's 2 wows worth.
You also, when you're taking a sip of your favorite canned beverage,
whatever that may
like
be.
apple cider or something?
This
Orange
is
juice,
a family show, so I can't mention the fact that all of you drink beer all the time.
All of us?
Dang it. I mentioned it.
Yeah, you slipped, man.
And you need to keep it cool. And when you do, you need a Liberty Tree Guns
Be Cool
koozie. On the backside, it says CZ, which is just a bonus.
We should let folks know that things like highlighter green, because on screen, it's washed out.
If you look at that and you're like, I don't want a pale green looking little koozie.
You're going to look across the room and be like, where's my beer at?
I ain't no sissy.
Find it
I ain't no...
Oh, I said beer on air.
ATF agent.
Oh, my
God. I'm
no.
a real man.
You are a real man.
I want that lime green koozie. And then also, another thing I might want is Liberty Tree Guns camo hat.
Man, that's so cool.
It's hunting season.
Yeah, it
You're
is.
going to want this mesh back camouflage.
Or when Terry start getting froggy.
Do they?
Right.
Do
you
they
want
make
that Liberty Tree Guns logo.
Now, do they make water versions of that if you're fishing? So you blend in with the water so the fish don't know you're there?
Yes.
That's cool. I can't wait till we get some of those.
Yeah.
Pretty dope.
Yep.
How do you get that stuff, man?
Well, I'll take you.
You're gonna go to
fishing
our
and
website,
snipe hunting one of these days, and I'll teach you.
Oh, I heard
we
you
should
can.
go snipe
I heard
hunting,
you can get your weight in snipes.
Yeah, you can. You will be able to for sure.
And kilograms, not pounds.
Okay, and the way you get those free things, and I'm talking, they're free, right?
You're not going to pull the old bait and switcheroo on them, are you?
You're going to go to Liberty Tree Guns. You're going to go to the merch section.
Yep.
And on there, you're going to find all those items, and you know what the item price is?
$0 and 0 to 0 cents.
Yep. Now, if you're not local and you can't come into the store, then you're going to need to ship them. And we charge a few dollars to cover our costs on shipping.
Yep.
But it's otherwise
A
free.
meager amount.
So if you're going to want to get a sticker and a koozie, maybe 2 koozies and a hat, it's going to be like $5-6 to ship it to you, and you get all that stuff for free. So I urge you to do that.
Screaming deal.
I also urge you to share the feed and tag 5 friends so that you get entered to win a $100 gift card. That is only for people who do that on this episode.
That's right. And you got to come back.
$100.
Come back a week from this episode to find out if you win.
Which, by the way, last week we gave away a Heritage Rough Rider, and
That's
we
right.
have the winner, and we'll announce the winner coming up. Stay tuned. But I don't want to take any longer before I show you these cool guns.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're like, some of them are like Frankenguns, aren't they?
They're incredibly unique. I've never seen guns like this before.
Some homemade stuff.
So, Logan,
Yep.
if you would do your
Vanna
best
White?
Vanna Whiting of that stuff, bring it over here to the table, and then as soon as we get that locked in, I'm going to need you to fire up the Pro Outfitters mobile cam, and then we can get some close-up shots. So this is a gentleman who entrusted Liberty Tree Guns to sell his collection because we have a wide audience reaching thousands of customers every month. And we can take care of all of the shipping, all of those difficult things for you for one flat fee. We cover gun broker and everything. Gary, what is the first one we have for listeners today?
All right, this first one here is a custom-made percussion hammer rifle. As you can tell, it's designed here for the rendezvous person in mind. This would actually be a good one to take because it's more of the old style gun that
like
the
an
frontiersmen used.
Yeah, an old fur trapper would have.
And it's got a pretty unique cap box here.
Oh,
Once Logan gets back here, I can show you.
Yeah, what's the cat? You say cap?
Cap.
So this is where you would keep all the components.
So you just pull this and it slides.
So what we're looking at is a beautiful wood stock muzzleloader with an octagon barrel, and in the base of the stock, built in is a sliding, like a trapdoor, you can imagine. And
secret compartment.
So just to back up, if you're not familiar with Blackpowder or muzzleloaders, these are the old style, not necessarily Flintlock, but Flintlock is a term that people recognize as an old gun. This uses a cap and ball ignition system.
What when you say old, like how old are we talking? Like 1800s, 1700s?
This would have been the basic premise of this would have been what was being used in the 1700s, and then carried on until the cartridge rifle became popularized really widely at the end of the American Civil War. So tell us a few more features of this gun if you have any that you like.
What I like on this is basically the trigger guard here. A lot of this is brass. You do a lot of good craftsmanship on the brass, just like your sling stud here in the front. And then the bands for the ramrod, all brass.
And that reminds you of like the brass handguard on like an old sword, because it would have been the same era when people carried swords. And that's the kind of the scroll work. So for those not getting a visual right now, we have the beautiful wooden stock and then an elaborate brass finish work on the trigger guard, and everything around the action area is like a little sculpture attached to the gun. Absolutely a beautiful one.
And with that being said, too, another thing that makes a lot of these unique, a lot of guys do it, some don't, but if you get this right here, maker's mark.
Oh, really?
So there may be an insignia that's somewhere on the barrel. A lot of it, they'll do it in the brass where it's softer. They'll do inlay
in the wood
for the maker's mark.
So that's like the signature of the gunsmith that would have built this beautiful work of art. And it's kind of amazing because the technology that existed when this type of firearm was prevalent and was the latest technology. And it's funny that we would never think of a old muzzleloader as technology, but when it came from...
I was cutting edge at one time.
Yeah, I mean, that was it. And everything that had to happen People complain ammo's kind of hard to get right now.
Yeah.
Well, it's not so much if you go to Liberty Tree Guns, but everywhere else it's hard to get. Imagine they used to have to make gunpowder out of things like cow urine and technical malfunction, Brogan Bones there.
Yeah.
Pulling a
That's
real
because he's a renegade. That's why they call him Bones.
Oh, Brogan Bones. All right. I want to squeeze in at least the beginning of the next one. So he's going to change that out. We're going to move to the next lineup.
One quick thing, guys. I don't know if we mentioned it, but what kind of wood were we looking at on that?
That's probably going to be a lot of, that one to me looks like walnut. You can't really see the grains on it, but a lot of maple was used, a lot of hard ash, just depending on what was in the area.
Oh, it's a very beautiful looking wood.
And that's one of the things about these is whether or not you are into black powders, which is, as far as me as collecting and owning them, I'm not a huge muzzleloader guy, but as soon as I hold these and start to appreciate them, well, you can appreciate them.
You turn into a pioneer.
Yeah, you get the feeling right then. This next one is a case of what, Gary?
This is a case of a good present for a brother-in-law or sister-in-law if you don't like who they're marrying. We got some Dueling black powder Spanish black powder pistols. Yes.
Love it. So Dueling, believe it or not, was a commonplace thing that happened back in the day, and that was settle a dispute by lining up so many paces apart and firing at each other. So this is actually two pistols designed with that purpose in mind. So it's a matching set. And tell us what some of the features that stand out, Gary.
Well, on this one here, to make it even more dramatic, you've got your powder flask. You get to make your own balls and everything. So you do that together before you get ready to shoot each other.
Oh, wow. It's a whole ceremony.
Yes.
Yeah. And is that what do we have here, Gary? What is this thing? Is that like a?
It looks like a gavel.
Yeah, let me get up there. It is.
If there's no a winner, then they have a judge and jury.
Yeah.
This is actually made to take as soon as you get your 10 steps. Whoever's counting.
That's the signal.
Oh, well, I wasn't too far off.
Yeah, that's a signal. And what something that's. You don't think of fluted barrel of being something you find on a black powder pistol,
right.
But that's what I'm looking at, right?
That's right, and I want you to see.
Here, get down by your mic. I want to make sure everybody can hear it. No problem.
I don't know if we can get it or not, but I'd like to mention this rifling.
Oh, man, yeah. I will turn on my cell phone light to try to capture that. I have never seen the rifling like what's in these Dueling pistols.
So that's present meets past that we have going on here?
Well, basically, I think the craftsman on this one designed, he was probably in business because there's no way you could miss with the rifling that he's got in this barrel right now.
Yeah. Unbelievable. So
hard to see, but
so normally, you have wide lands and deep grooves.
Oh, okay, I see it. Yeah,
super unique rifling in these black powder Dueling pistols. So we'll keep breaking those down and more of these great consignment guns right here on the Gun Shop Show. Hey, you know what makes this, the Gun Shop Show, possible? It's people who believe in the show. And someone who has believed in the show from the very beginning is my good friend Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply. Here's a message from Chris.
Guys, my name's Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply, and I just want to take a few seconds here to let you know that we are going to be proud sponsors of the Gun Shop Show, and we appreciate everything that them guys are doing over there, and we just want to show them our support. Thank you.
So whether you have 2 chickens or 2,000 acres, Chris is your man. Give him a call. I guess that's pretty much the ad.
Whitehead Farm Supply.
Seriously?
Always.
It's
the KZRG Morning News Watch. I'm Peter Thiel.
I'm Rob Brown. And I'm Steve Scott.
I'm Dalton Evans. I'll tell you what, the Show Us Your Rack promotion, which we're doing here at News Talk KZRG with our good friends at Liberty Tree Guns, your opportunity to win an awesome Beretta Tikka T3X bolt action hunting rifle.
Plus $500, and all you have to do is show us your rack. And we mean rack like that.
And when you go out and you assassinate, harvest your deer.
Very good.
Take a good picture of its head. Enter it at newstalkkzrg.com, and you're in line to win this amazing contest.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be from this year's. If you have one from previous years that you know is one heck of a fine rack, you can win with it as well, because it counts about how many of your friends really dig your rack.
Bada bing, bada boom. Hey, again, newstalkkzrg.com. Thanks to our good friends at Liberty Tree Guns and the Gun Shop Show for allowing us to be a part of their fun.
Now, show us your rack. Go. Steve. No, don't do it.
This just in. Huge cave found beneath the heart of the city. Spelunkers shared tales of an underground cavern system in Carthage, Missouri. Locals report the entrance to be at 10th and Garrison.
Cave Gang Pizza. Stop in and enjoy wings, wood-fire pizza made with local ingredients, and our full bar. Bring the whole gang and uncover a legend.
People are always asking me, Eli, you seem to get the best deals on things. What is your secret?
Glory actions and estate sales.
Trevor, I appreciate you jingling, but I have to say the ad part first because people need to know about the company.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to do that.
And then also, it's it's covering up my face. So
right.
just get a picture like from their Facebook page, because that's the best place, and then just put it right up here where the Gun Shop Show logo is. Okay.
All right, I'll do better this
and
time.
then and so let me finish the ad, and then you can jingle. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the best place to go is their Facebook page.
Oh, glory actions and estate sales.
You know what? Fine. I'll just move in between the graphics and finish telling people that the best place to find out when
old glory actions and estate sales. I think I got it that time, man.
Hey folks, I had to learn the hard way that a good home inspection makes a difference when you're buying a home. Our new sponsor, All Points Inspections, can provide just that. Here's a message from Corey from All Points Inspections.
Hey guys, Corey Hines here, owner of All Points Inspections. Up on a roof right now, currently doing a roof inspection, checking for leaks. But I am excited to announce that I am a new sponsor with the Gun Shop Show. Those guys are awesome over there. It's been kind of a Saturday morning routine for me now to join in on the conversations. Just a bunch of good group of guys all around, followers, watchers. Check them out. If you guys need home inspections, give me a call. 417-439-9229. Thank you.
Hey everybody, it's Eli at Liberty Tree Guns here at 530 West Fur Road in Carthage, Missouri, and I want to show you a gun collection that we just bought from an individual. A little bit of everything in this one. We wrote a check for 22 guns. Got some newer lever guns, cool Henry Silverboy, some older shotguns. This is a cool old 410 double barrel. This was a good mix. There was some newer type stuff, some old stuff here, some Blackpowder, some cool Colt, Blackpowder revolvers, newer Rugers, Mark IIIs, PMR 30, Taurus Judge, couple of Taurus revolvers, got a long slide 1911 right here, and then got this cool Llama 45. We just sold the sister to that gun in 38 Super. This particular individual, this was half the collection that we bought from him. And so I just want to remind you that we pay top dollar for entire collection, so we'll buy one gun or 100 from you, and we can offer consignment where we sort of establish what these guns are worth and we pay you out when they sell. Or in the case of this one, we offered consignment, we discussed it, and then we offered a cash
price, which was a little bit less than the consignment settlement price, but it's quick. It was one check, and we paid those all out to this individual. And probably the biggest, baddest, coolest one of the whole mix was this Bushmaster BA-50. So we have everything from little antique 22s to 50 cals in this one collection, and want to remind you that we'd love a chance to buy your collection. Find us at libertytreeguns.com or here on Fur Road in Carthage, Missouri. See you soon.
Hey all, it's Mel with Pro Outfitters. Once again, I'm on the go, but I always make time for the Gun Shop Show.
The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. What is it? We don't know. The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. Here we go, it's the Gun Shop Show.
All right, we're back on the Gun Shop Show. I'm your host, Eli Bruton. And real quick, I want to announce the winner of last week's giveaway.
Who is it?
Yep.
Who's
last
the winner?
week,
Who
we gave
is
away
it?
this Heritage Rough Rider
Is
revolver.
it Jo Jorgensen? Did she win?
She didn't win.
Man.
She's going to win.
She won by being on the Gun Shop Show and having the overdrive.
She's going to win third place, I bet you anything. This is the prize gun from last time, which is a Heritage Rough Rider, which really, everybody that owns one of these is like, I got my money's worth when I bought that thing.
Also, not something most people know. As soon as you put that in your hand, instant cowboy.
You turn into a cowboy. It happens
Instantly.
every time. And so last week we had lots of people share the feed and tag 5 friends. And of those people,
who is
the
it?
winner is Mr. Troy Harder.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Excellent. Thank you, Troy, for
Harder,
sharing
good job.
and
Troy
tagging.
Harder. And, you know, I think everybody that got in on that giveaway tried hard.
Yeah, I think so, too.
But he tried harder.
I see what you did
I appreciate that, man.
That full credit, joke credit to Trevor.
Thank you.
I was a joke cover.
It sounded like a Trevor
Cover joke.
It's a cover joke. I didn't do it originally. I just tried to do my own interpretation.
Well, you played it, and I was sitting here on the cusp. I'm like, is he gonna do it?
That's a lot like when Creedence Clearwater Revival covered Tina Turner.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Right.
very very few people know about that cover.
It happened.
Mhm.
And it was spectacular.
And they're rolling down rivers now.
Yeah. We were
Clearwater
somewhere
Rivers.
together, and Rolling on the River was playing, and Trevor's like, "You a Tina Turner fan?" And I'm like,
That's exactly how it went down,
and
too.
I was like, I like Creedence. And he's like, "This is a Tina Turner song."
Right.
And I'm like, "No, it's not." I was not even aware, but legitimately, to his credit,
Yeah.
there is a cover of that song by Tina Turner.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think what he was saying is that Tina Turner
did it
better.
No, he tried to tell me that it was hers originally, and we almost
fisticuffs.
Yeah,
Yeah, right at the dinner table. Also, when I talk about Tina Turner and Creedence Clearwater, I turn into a 6-year-old child.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, how about those guns, man?
We are breaking down consignment guns, which when you bring your guns and put them on consignment with us, you're having us take all of the issues of finding a legal buyer, shipping, gun broker fees, credit card fees, documenting the whole process. We do all that for you. A lot of places charge 25, 30%. We don't. We charge it flat, 18%. We take it out of the sale, so you're not out anything out of pocket. So a $10 flat fee per gun and 18%. And we cover all of those things. If it sells on Gun Broker, we cover the fees. You don't pay any extra. When we ship it, we cover that. You don't pay any extra. We keep it insured while it's on our property. You don't pay any extra. So if you're interested in consigning your firearms, bring them into Liberty Tree Guns on Fur Road in Carthage, or visit libertytreeguns.com. Send us a message. Let us know. We'll even send off packaging so you can ship it to us from anywhere in the country and put your guns on consignment with us.
A little extra added bonus, Eli, that you didn't tell people about. When it's all over with, you have friends.
You got friends in the gun business. Let us sell them for you. We do it every day, all day, and we do it well. And one of the men that helped me do that is Gary Bond, our sales manager here at Liberty Tree Guns. And he's the one that took these guns in, so he's helping guide us through this awesome collection. Of all the guns on the table, the next one probably just visually jumps out at you. Logan, Mr. Brogan Bones, can you bring that next one over?
Is this the Kajungo one? The mega one?
We're talking heavy.
Like it's made for Andre the Giant?
Yeah. That's what
I remember that one. It's huge. It's like Frankengun too, isn't it?
This is what Paul Bunyan used when his axe got dull.
That's a great description. Look at this thing.
We're gonna need
the barrel. The barrel goes through the screen, and it looks like I don't know, a pillar.
We're gonna need something to compare it to. Anybody got a quarter or something?
Look at the desk. It is like an inch longer than the entire desk, and the barrel is about 3 inches around. Tell us what the heck this thing is, Gary.
Good night.
Now, the other ones where Eli was talking earlier about a flintlock, this is actual flintlock right here. This isn't a cap and ball.
So let's explain that difference real quick. So a cap and ball is still a muzzleloader. You still put black powder down the bore, and then you put the projectile in, and you use a ramrod to tamp it down. Now, in modern days, we can take a percussion cap. That's a little primer that we pop on there, and it hits it. Let's talk about what a flintlock is and how that works. What's the basics of a flintlock, Gary?
On the flintlocks, whenever you draw this hammer back.
And this would have been the real, true, old way it was done.
So it uses flint to create a spark to get in here, and that's what ignites your powder to send the ball out. It's not all...
There's no special cap that you put on there. So flint... being an actual type of rock, if you've ever seen anybody take the back of their knife and hit a rock and throw sparks, to, like build a campfire, flint is the type of rock that you would look for to do that. That's how it interacts with steel.
Right.
And so a flintlock takes and hits that flint against a steel plate and makes a shower of sparks. And so you would put a little bit of priming powder in the pan, and then you would pull the hammer. The hammer would strike, shower those sparks into the pan, and that powder would burn and hit that main charge. So this is a real, true flintlock. The thing that is
the real deal,
exceptional about this is, imagine, this thing is probably as big as my wife. It's probably like 5 feet long.
Definitely taller.
Yeah, and weighs a ton. I'm talking, it looks like the barrel of a cannon.
Yeah, it's huge, man. Did you show them the hole in the barrel, Logan?
That's the comical part. What
flipped,
caliber is this
you're
thing,
flipped,
Gary?
Logan.
This is a 45 caliber.
So
30 pounds.
It weighs 30 pounds. So by the standards of a black powder rifle, 45 is not actually that big of a bullet. So you've got what is the biggest barrel I've ever seen in my entire life, and the tiniest muzzleloader bullet you can get. So it's almost like the collector of this had a bit of a sense of humor about this oversized gun.
He did it because he could.
Absolutely incredible. So this is just, you kind of nailed it down. Like the only person that would look normal holding this is like Shaq or Andre the Giant.
Well, if Shaq, if you're watching right now, we got the Flintlock muzzleloader for you.
If you want to come on the Gun Shop Show, we will have you on, Shaq.
You got to cross your eyes if you're going to do a good Shaq.
Oh, yeah. Let me try that.
All right.
Give me something to say.
I was in Shazam.
I was in Shazam.
Well, he actually wasn't in Shazam, but...
I wasn't. Yeah, he was.
Wasn't it a different movie?
It was Kazam.
There you go.
Shazam.
Say like, I should have won the Oscar for my role in Kazam.
I should have got more rebounds. I was an obnoxiously huge human being. Have you ever seen the comparison photos of Shaq next to someone who you think is huge?
Yes, The Rock.
The Rock, and he makes a rock look tiny, which is interesting.
Yeah, it is, and it's so interesting. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, let's get it and put it on screen. I feel like I may have talked about this before.
Charles Barkley, too.
Yeah, Charles Barkley's bigger than The Rock.
But if you're going to be honest, I would say that Charles Barkley's probably got the largest ego in this picture.
How do you know that?
I don't know. He just seems like the kind of guy who's got a big ego.
what's funny is he has kind of a buffoonish ego, actually.
Yeah.
Like he's always really confident, but really wrong about whatever his opinion is.
So his ego is really big.
Yeah.
I think my assessment was right.
Yeah. Okay, we got more of these. I want to make sure we fit them all in.
Mhm.
And what would the product title of this one be? What would we call that thing?
This one here, just throw in for those of you. I mean, I'm sure there's some out there that has a lot of interest and knows a lot about black powder. This actually has a G.R. Douglas barrel, custom designer. So that's another perk on this one. This is just a muzzleloader Flintlock 45.
It's I've never seen a gun like that.
I haven't either.
And I've seen a lot of guns, obviously. We've sold upwards of 20,000 guns in the last 5 years since I've been doing this, and I've never seen anything like that. So let's grab the next one.
Certainly a unique piece.
Yeah, you put that up on your wall, and you have a conversation
Now,
piece.
Has anybody tried to shoulder that? Because it would seem pretty hilarious to imagine trying to shoulder.
I can try to shoulder
it can be done.
Here, I'll try.
I mean,
just do it right now.
Also, I really like the buttstock on that. It's very elegant as well.
Yeah, it is.
Are these all made by the same blacksmith?
No.
no.
Gunsmith.
Okay. That was a test, Gary, and you passed.
Thank you.
I was trying to keep people on their toes here. That's my job on the gun shop.
Ready?
Yeah, do it. All right, now he's in frame. Look at this. Brogan Bones.
Oh, man.
Back up, Logan. We can't even see the whole gun.
Look at those guns.
Oh, look, he's moving laterally. That's tactical.
Wow.
That's tactical if I ever seen it.
Got to lead him a little more.
Go prone.
Got to lead it a little bit more.
Yeah. That's some beautiful work there. All right.
Impressive.
So we'll get the next one tailored up, and then we may have to go to break and come back. But
what do we got coming up next, guys?
We have coming up next.
This is probably one of my favorites.
Is that shotgun?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So when we get back from the break, we're going to be breaking down a muzzleloading shotgun, which has some features that might surprise you.
Oh.
That's what's called a teaser, my friends.
Wow.
You're going to have to come back after the break.
Exciting.
Learn more about these black powder guns on this special Halloween episode of the Gun Shop Show. And just to be clear, this is not the real ATF.
Kids are curious by nature. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home by doing these simple tasks. Consider gun locks and/or gun safes for storage of firearms. Don't leave your guns unattended where children could reach them. Discuss with your children the rules of firearm safety. Sign your kids up for hunter safety classes. Firearm safety in the household is your responsibility. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home. For more information, visit jaspercountysheriff.org.
The Gun Shop Show costs money to make, and the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by pecans and cheese. Not really. Actually, we didn't have any sponsors for this segment, and so I decided that I would take a snack break, and also I decided if you guys are tired of listening to me eat cheese and nuts, that you need to buy an ad. So from now on, if our ad sponsorships don't sell out, you're going to have to listen to me eat nuts and cheese. In order to sponsor the Gun Shop Show, send us an email at thegunshopshow@gmail.com.
Next week, chips.
Hey, Adam and Lauren. Thanks for jumping on here so we can make an ad for the show.
Yeah, absolutely. We're huge Second Amendment advocates and big supporters of Liberty Tree and the Gun Shop Show.
All right, so for the ad, we're going to want to go over what you offer.
We do all the standard auto, home insurance, life insurance.
We also do a lot of rental property, whether that be commercial rental or residential, duplexes, apartment complexes, single-family dwellings. And we have specialty policies for all your firearms.
You have commercial coverage on my rental properties, so we can put that in the ad too. And I was thinking that we'll talk about how you're big supporters of the store and how you come in the store pretty much every day on your lunch break and buy guns.
Maybe don't mention the everyday thing because my wife does watch the show. But we've been known to come in occasionally.
Every once in a while.
All right, guys, I think that we have everything we need to make an ad, so once I get it done, I'll give you guys a holler to check it out. Trevor, don't put it in the ad, but those guys are in here literally every day on their lunch break.
The High Winds Drifter.
Guns are like Halloween. Scary at first, but eventually a lot of fun.
It's the finale of the All-American Gun Giveaway at High Winds Casino. Earn entries now and be at High Winds on Halloween night when 5 lucky players will win a rifle or shotgun from Henry and Browning and pick up their new gun from Liberty Tree Guns in Carthage. It's the All-American Gun Giveaway, only at High Winds Casino, just east of Miami on Highway 10.
It's fun to win a gun.
The Gun Shop Show, brought to you by little old ladies. They're little and they're old. They're little old ladies. Welcome back. This is a message from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Not really. This is the Gun Shop Show. And no need to be scared, even though it is Halloween.
My heart dropped.
Unless you are Randy Weaver.
I don't even know who that is.
We ain't gonna kill your dog. We ain't gonna kill your wife. So as long as you're not Randy Weaver, you're fine. Or as long as you're not an American gun owner that owns a AR pistol brace, you're fine.
Which is like 4 million people.
As long as you're not Q Firearms, you're fine. But you know what? If you're non-binary gender, we got you covered.
Got your check box.
We got your check box on the paperwork. You're good to go. No need to be scared. All in fun here. But we have the next gun of this collection that we're breaking down.
What do we got coming up next, yo?
This is one that, like Gary, I can really appreciate. This is what, Gary?
This is a percussion hammer, once again, Blackpowder shotgun, over and under. Actually made by Beretta.
Really?
Yes.
And I got to hold that thing, and it balances really well. So it's
swings good.
It's an over and under, and it feels a lot like a over and under shotgun that you know any modern one that you would take out. Is it light?
Yes, it's light. It swings good. One good thing about this is what you can really do. Now it's going to sound funny. You can load these black powders. You don't necessarily have to use shot. Okay, and I think these barrels are good enough if a guy wanted to put pea gravel in there.
Yeah.
So if you got this and you know you like shooting skeet or clay pigeons, you could probably get a little bit better score with one of these for 2 reasons. Whatever you load in there, you can make sure you're going to hit the target, and then everybody behind you ain't going to get to shoot because all the smoke after both barrels fall off.
It's going to roll out of there. Every year we go to a charity clay shoot, and we take a team of the staff here at Liberty Tree Guns, and every year we're not that great, but every year we have fun for a good cause.
Speak for yourself.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Speak for yourself.
Trevor went out and
I was a prize winner,
like a savant at shooting clays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I really dialed it back too because I didn't want to try to show anybody up.
Yeah.
But
he was popping them.
Right. Well, I mean that's what I do. It's all that training from Duck Hunt.
Nintendo Duck Hunt.
Yeah,
that'll do it.
That and picking off mice. But hey, look, I have to know, how old is this gun?
Probably not as old as its design would indicate. I mean, Blackpowder shotguns have been all around a long time, and it's just styled in the way of old.
Right. Oh, okay.
But this particular one may not be super antique.
Is that patina that I see on that metal?
Yeah, absolutely. It's blued finish, so you're seeing a little bit of patina from age. It almost kind of reminds you of case color hardening. I don't know that it is case hardened, but up here on the band you see the bluing, and this is the kind of thing, because we have this sort of inventory on our shelves, it's the kind of thing that makes people have to visit once a week because they don't want to miss something like this on the shelf. For me, what's great about it is when I think of muzzleloader, I'm thinking of a heavy octagon barrel. I'm thinking about having to take a ramrod and use some force to knock a musket ball down the bore. what Gary correctly pointed out is we can load this with the amount of powder that we want. So we can load it a little hotter or a little less in terms of the black powder. And then we can load it with various types of shot because it's loose and we can choose on each shot, unlike a shotgun shell where you have to load the individual shell. And people, back when black powder and muzzle loading shotguns were the only option, people used what they had available. So if they didn't have a lead shot, they would use stuff like fine gravel, like pea gravel. Or if they had any small material that they could put loose that would scatter like shotgun shot is what you would use to take small game. Or, people always talk about rock salt loads. They would use rock salt to hit like a stray dog or something they wanted to run off, but not kill. And so you have that flexibility. And what's kind of neat about this is you could go around and play with all of that. You could shoot it and see what the pattern was like. You could see each time you load it and fire it, you can make it unique if you choose to.
Well, something that I just learned, when you said that was Beretta, for some reason in my mind, I thought of them more as a modern company, but to my surprise, founded in 1526.
So do we happen to know the actual age of this one?
I don't. I looked it up. There's not a lot of information on these because apparently they're not real super popular to where they've got the info out. But I'll do some more checking and I'll get back with you and see if I can get an actual date on it.
I think
he didn't indicate for sure how old it was.
I think the barrel said 1680 to 1980.
Well, it's bicentennial version.
Exactly. As in it's after 1980.
Right.
It was made after 1980.
So this, to answer your question, Trevor, this is probably the same exact design that would have existed in 1680.
Like a replica.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're indicating this is a design that has existed from 1680 to 1880. And so in order for that to be engraved on the barrel, it probably was made as a tribute to this design that existed for that length of time. But what's really fun about all that, you take all of that novelty aside, and I can legit picture myself shooting clays or going bird hunting just for the challenge of shooting a black powder shotgun. I'd love to do it.
I have to ask, I hate that I feel that I have to preface that, but if you're doing black powder, do you typically, like if you're going to use rocks, do you put them in like a little pouch of fabric or something before you put them down the barrel, or do you literally just drop the rocks down the barrel?
Yeah, you would make a wad. That's called a wad. Okay. And in fact, a wad was named that, whether you're using a musket ball or you're using loose shot, it's to seal off between the powder and the projectile. And now when you shoot, and you probably remember when we were out shooting shotguns, you would see that plastic cup that would fly off to the side.
Yeah,
that's still called a wad because it used to be a wad of whatever you had at your disposal, a wad of cloth, a wad of paper, whatever you could make it out of.
I've certainly seen it acted out, and I have it imprinted in my mind, but wasn't sure if that was the case.
Yeah, that's a good question. And does this have a gauge listed with it?
12 gauge.
And that's kind of interesting because in a modern projectile shotgun, you can only you have to have the exact cartridge.
Right.
So it's funny. This is the same diameter as a 12 gauge, but you're not really loading a 12 gauge shell.
Right.
So you have more flexibility in terms of the powder that you put in. You're not chambering a shotgun shell in the way that you would imagine, but it's still a 12 gauge. So if you want to know about how much pattern it's going to have and about how it can shoot, it would be a lot like shooting a modern 12 gauge.
Fancy.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next one coming up, visually and otherwise just incredible gun. So Logan, let's go ahead and get those switched out. So as soon as we get back from the break, you can show. We could show that one off. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more guns in this collection on the Gun Shop Show, and we're going to hear from some of our great sponsors. If you'd like to be a sponsor of the Gun Shop Show, hit us up.
It's been a pleasure over the last 18 months serving both the Mount Vernon and the Carthage community with all their wireless needs, whether that's small business or keeping your family connected. Visit us at 100 George E. Phelps Boulevard, Carthage, Missouri, or 417-317-6342.
If you need a simple upgrade, to add a line, or need help with a plan change, come by and let one of our representatives help you out. Our Mount Vernon location is located at 318 West Mount Vernon Boulevard. Our phone number is 417-737-9669, or you can visit our Facebook page at Verizon Wireless Mount Vernon.
We have all the accessories for your favorite models, such as the S20 Ultra, maybe it's the 11 Pro Max, or the Google Pixel 4.
For just a simple plan change, an upgrade, or to add a new line to your account, stop by one of our convenient locations or check us out on social media. To get connected or stay connected to Verizon Wireless, the nation's best network.
Thank you.
We will see you soon.
Hey everybody, Eli here, and I'm really excited to tell you that the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by one of my favorite places on earth. Located here in my hometown of Carthage on the beautiful historic square, the Emporium on the square, and the Woodshed. It's a art gallery, an event center, a gift shop. They have art classes, and there's very unique Americana artwork from famous artists like Andy Thomas. They handle a lot of his original framing. Just has this incredible old school vibe, and you can feel the history coming through. Have to check out the art gallery, but then as you work your way to the back, my favorite part, the Woodshed. Had a lot of great meals in here. They've got burgers. I love their catfish. Excellent. Chicken and waffles even. It's incredible. And it's also a music venue, so we got to see my favorite band of all time, the Ben Miller Band. Ceiling was literally raining down. They were rocking so hard. But the best thing, owned by one of my favorite people on earth, that's Cherry Babcock. Check out the Emporium on the Square and the Woodshed. Hey podcast listeners and live stream viewers, I wanted to let you know that the Gun Shop Show is made possible by our friends at Mid-America RV. Being in the customer service industry, I have a really high standard for how customers are treated. Mid-America RV does it right. I've got my RV through their dealership and I've taken it all over the country. We made it to South Padre Island. We've gone to Colorado several times. And if you've ever owned an RV, you know there's a lot that comes with it. So who you get it from matters, and it's extremely important that you have support after the sale. They're located just outside of Carthage. They have a really vast inventory, and they are home of, I believe they call it a forever warranty. So I urge you, if you're in the market for one, to check them out. It's a really fun and can be very affordable way to get your trips in. So visit them at midamericarv.com. We appreciate their support of the Gun Shop Show. If you're in the market for a travel trailer or fifth wheel, check out Mid-America RV.
Land is everything to me. When I was born, I was brought home to the family farm, was raised, learned work ethic there, learned appreciation and respect for life and the land itself, and it just became second nature. I had to be there all the time. Whenever I wasn't on the land, I was not happy. But I learned to understand the land, learned to respect it, learned family values. My wife and I have bought a farm besides the one we live on, and it has just been a great investment, and it's been someplace that my son and I have shared the passion of hunting together, and land has been everything in my life. It has kind of kept me focused and gave me a place to be. It's kind of kept me grounded.
Hey, you know what makes this, the Gun Shop Show, possible? It's people who believe in the show. And someone who has believed in the show from the very beginning is my good friend Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply. Here's a message from Chris.
Guys, my name's Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply, and I just want to take a few seconds here to let you know that we are going to be proud sponsors of the Gun Shop Show, and we appreciate everything that them guys are doing over there, and we just want to show them our support. Thank you.
So whether you have 2 chickens or 2,000 acres, Chris is your man. Give him a call. I guess that's pretty much the ad.
Whitehead Farm Supply.
Seriously? Pardon me, just finishing up some messages. In this day and age, there's always some kind of ammo-related emergency that I've got to take care of, even while we're making the best dang program about guns, and that is the Gun Shop Show. Which, by the way, welcome to this special Halloween episode of Spooky. The Gun Shop Show.
I don't even we need to come up with a title for this thing.
What is that?
You don't know what that is?
You never heard that sound before?
No.
That's the High Winds Drifter.
Of the High Winds Drifter.
It's iconic.
The High Winds Drifter is a character from High Winds Casino and their All-American Gun giveaway, which, by the way, you've had all your chances to win, and you got just a little more chance from the time you hear this.
There's much more chance. Last night.
You need to go to High Winds Casino, and when you use your player's card, which if you don't have one, you can get one, you get entered in win, and I'm talking, these are not... I mean, all the guys saw the guns.
These aren't high points. These aren't high points,
they're
folks.
toys. We're talking Brownings.
Brownings, top of the line stuff.
CZs. Yeah.
You get a chance to win those. There'll be 5 of them given away tonight. So make sure you get in on the High Winds Casino All-American Gun giveaway and check them out. They're supporters of the show, supporters of the Second Amendment. Not all casinos are willing to take a position and sponsor something like the Gun Shop Show. So visit highwindscasino.com, click the promotions tab, learn about the All-American Gun giveaway, and learn about all of the things you can experience at High Winds Casino.
I think he just left, guys.
He did. He left his mark on the way out.
He drifted out.
All right, the Gun Shop Show comes to you from the sales floor, Liberty Tree Guns, and we're going over a collection of consignment guns, which is when you bring your gun to us and you say, "You're my friends in the gun business. How about you sell these for me?" And we go, "Whippity snappity, we can do that."
And we sell them for you.
I mean, Gary doesn't do that. He just says, "Yes, sir, we'd love to do that for you." But I'm the one that goes, "Snippity snappity, I'm all about it."
Let's get clappity.
We've been meaning to talk to you about that.
Is it not working?
Well, some people have been wondering if you have issues.
Yeah, I know. I could scare them even more.
Uh-oh.
Don't do it.
Ow.
Oh, no, man. You're just tearing down the whole set.
You need
up there, jerk
my head off. Bumbling.
Yeah.
That takes me to my next point.
What's your next point?
That was all part of the costume.
Knocking it over?
Yeah.
Because the ATF just don't care?
The ATF.
They'll come in, they'll wreck your business, knock your guitars over.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Just kidding. No need to be scared.
Yeah, and if you're a member of the ATF, actually,
you're cool.
Cool.
We're cool.
We're cool. We're cool, baby.
Yeah, it's not you.
Yeah.
It's not me, it's you. I mean, it's not you, it's me.
Let them down gently.
Yeah.
What do we got coming up next on the Gun Shop Show?
What is this gun, Gary?
This is another percussion black powder gun, but it's an underhammer.
I've never seen a gun like this.
Oh, wow.
So the unique thing about this is that the hammer spring, this is where your cap will go. Once you pull this back, the spring is actually the trigger guard.
It's unbelievable. So
that's crazy.
We have another 5-footer on our hands here. We got this octagon barrel. We have a much more minimalist buttstock on this thing, and there's no forearm. There's no handguard area on this rifle. You're just holding on to the barrel.
Right.
And you also, this is featuring a sighting system that is unlike anything else in the lineup and unlike anything you pretty much see.
And as you can see, like on the older movies and the westerns, you got some guys that are actually using these guns or portraying they are, and you've always seen that long skinny tube on top. Well, that is actually a scope of that day.
Hard to believe. So you've got like a 5-foot long gun, and it's probably got a 1.25 inch diameter hex barrel, and then above that you've got like a 3/4 inch brass scope.
That's almost as long as the barrel.
Yeah,
it's more like a spyglass.
Yeah, it's like 3 foot long. So like an old, if you imagine a ship captain busting out the old what is a one-legged binocular called?
Spyglass.
Monocular or spyglass. Yeah.
Looking glass.
Looking glass. There you go.
It makes me think Lewis and Clark.
Yeah, we should do a whole episode on Lewis and Clark's gun, by the way.
Oh, okay.
They had a very early air-powered semi-auto gun.
Excellent story.
Yeah, it took hundreds of pumps, but once it did, it was a multi-shot, high-powered rifle.
Okay.
Well ahead of its time. And they carried that on their expeditions. But
was it like a Reebok pump?
Yeah, you just pump it up. Just like the jams, you just pump it up.
Oh, yeah, that's usually what I pump up.
Yeah, me too. So I've never seen one like this where the hammer's actually on the bottom side. So your cap goes there.
Underneath.
And when you... See, it took me a second to understand. You said the hammer spring's actually the trigger guard. I was like, what are you talking about? But when you see that, when you cock the hammer... and we have it on screen for those of you that are joining us on the live stream, which you should do because you're going to get to see Brogan Bones. You're going to get to see our man Gary Bond. You're going to get to see this awesome Blackpowder rifle, which we're now showing you how that underhammer works. The hammer actually swings upward into the bottom of...
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, the rifle.
And I think the whole reasoning behind this is for waterproofing as well, because it's got the shield here where your cap goes so everything stays dry.
Yeah. One of the design vulnerabilities of a flintlock with a pan of primer powder is if you filled that up, and you got to imagine, you got a little pan on top of your rifle.
Yeah.
You fill it up, you flip it open so that the sparks can land in it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that when it's really windy or it's raining and it dampens that powder, that's going to greatly diminish the reliability or the likelihood that the gun's going to fire.
Now, gravity's not an issue for the powder?
It would be, but in the flintlocks, it's on top with the
how does it get loaded?
You're using an actual primer.
Okay. And you probably mentioned that, and I may not have caught it.
Yeah.
Now, is this a traditional method here? Is this something that was used or manufactured in yesteryear, or is this kind of like this guy just designed this because he thought it was unique?
I think it was applicable then.
Yeah, it probably was a design. Again, this is not an area of my expertise, but I am a lot of these black powder guns are preserved and collected because of their historical value, even if they're a model of an older style.
Right.
So I don't know if and when this was deployed in the, in the original era of muzzleloading firearms, but if it was, it was certainly innovative. And if it wasn't, what a modern marvel of design to think of that now and apply it. But we should look that design up and share whether or not it was put in use way back in the day. But I've never seen a black powder rifle like this at all.
And I'd like to add one more thing, popular to the man here. These isn't like modern firearms as far as these optics go. I mean, the longer the optic, that's your long range. So if the longer the scope is, the further you're going to be able to see. Vice, if you had, they had short range, medium range, and long range back then, and that all depended on you were limited to the length of your scope on how far you was going to be able to see.
Yeah, which is now we're spoiled on the fact that with modern lenses, you can have tons of magnification in a fraction of that. But that's what they were working with at the time. So absolutely.
What's I think I missed this, but the end of the barrel, that circle thing that's there, what is that like supposed to block the sight or?
No, that's actually your cap lens for the optic. That end comes off.
Oh. Yeah.
That's just on there for.
Okay.
Yep.
I was thinking that might obstruct your view somehow.
Yeah,
unless it's got a pinhole.
I noticed that it's a Tasco scope.
Yes.
That just kind of surprised me.
Tasco been doing its thing for a long time.
Yeah.
We'll be right back on the Gun Shop Show. Hey everyone, the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by Carthage Lock and Key. If you need anything to do with a lock or a key...
To success!
Did they tell you to say that?
No, I just thought it sounded good.
They have a mobile service, so they can come to you and cut pretty much any kind of key.
To success!
Or if you lock your keys in your car...
Success!
I'm talking even security modern chip keys.
To success!
Trevor, could you just jingle the name of the business?
Okay. Yeah, I'll do it good this time.
So, with all of my properties and all of the needs I have, I trust
Carthage Lock and Key to success!
Hey folks, I had to learn the hard way that a good home inspection makes a difference when you're buying a home. Our new sponsor, All Points Inspections, can provide just that. Here's a message from Corey from All Points Inspections.
Hey guys, Corey Hines here, owner of All Points Inspections. Up on a roof right now, currently doing a roof inspection, checking for leaks. But I am excited to announce that I am a new sponsor with the Gun Shop Show. Those guys are awesome over there. It's been kind of a Saturday morning routine for me now to join in on the conversations. Just a bunch of good group of guys all around, followers, watchers. Check them out. If you guys need home inspections, give me a call, 417-439-9229. Thank you.
Welcome back. We are rolling right along on the Gun Shop Show. Rolling
through some pretty dope old guns, or at least old looking guns.
Dope old guns brought to you by U.S. Law Shield.
Quite the segue.
Dogs. U.S. Law Shield is your legal protection for your personal protection. We are members here at Liberty Tree Guns, and if we ever act in self-defense, heaven forbid we have to, we will be fully protected with legal representation, meaning if we have to defend ourselves in court, which I guarantee you, me as the owner of a gun store, as a guy that hosts a radio station, as a guy that has trained 5,000 to 6,000 people on how to carry a gun, if I have to use a gun in self-defense, it is likely that I will have a target, so to speak, on my back with the legal system. And
they're coming for you.
Yeah, and having had to hire an attorney before, thankfully never for using my gun, but I've had to hire an attorney when I did absolutely nothing wrong.
Yeah.
And it was very expensive. I won, right? And I got the correct judgment in court, and it still cost me thousands of dollars. I can't imagine if I had defended my life or my family's life and had to pay that out of pocket just to prove I did the right thing.
That's just not right.
But unfortunately, that's the nature of our system.
Right.
And that's why you need U.S. Law Shield. It costs literally less than Netflix. And it costs even less when you use the promo code LibertyTree. All one word, all lowercase.
That's right. You get 14 months for the price of 12, if I remember correctly.
That is correct. And you get upgraded to Platinum Protection, which means even if the cost of attorneys, even if we go into 2021 and the political climate for gun owners gets gnarly, which if the end of 2020 and the behavior of the ATF is any indication, it could happen. But that being said, if the cost of legal defense goes up, you'll never pay more for your membership when you use the promo code LibertyTree. So go to U.S. Law Shield, click Join Now. We'll put a direct link. When you use our link, it applies our promo code automatically. If you don't use our link and you join, make sure you remember that promo code to save yourself 2 free months.
Don't forget. We'll put that in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes. So if you're listening on the podcast, you can go to the notes in your podcast player, or you can go to gunshopshow.com and see things like that join link. We'll also put information on the guns that we show. But here joining me today is one of the guys that I trust to work with our customers on guns that they bring in. He will work with you if you want to sell your gun, or if you want to put them on consignment. He helps determine what they're worth. When you bring them in and put them on consignment, we are wanting you to get the most that you can get, but we also want you to be realistic so that they sell, so that you get paid, and we have a successful consignment program, which, by the way, we do at over a 95% success rate. Mm-hmm. Guns that come in here don't go back home unsold. They get sold. And so Gary has brought in a collection for one of our customers, and we've had many customers that consign a lot of guns with us. We went and picked up over 100 from one customer and sold every single one of them for him. Mm-hmm. Like 117, if memory serves. So thanks to Peter. I won't give out Peter's full name, but we appreciate that. It helps keep us rolling, gives us some unique selection, and it's a great way to support the Gun Shop Show and your friends here in the gun business. Let's talk about this one. What do we have here?
What do we got here?
I've never seen anything like this either.
This one is absolutely unique because I've never seen one like it either. It is also a percussion hammer. So once again, we're just a black powder with a hammer and a cap. But
secret trap door there in the stock.
This is better than a trap door.
Turn your mic a little bit, Gary. I want to make sure.
About that.
Yeah.
So this is better than a trap door, all right? So looking at it,
few things.
Fire.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I would just say something jumps out to you. You got your rear sight and your front sight. And then you look on the bottom, you're like, what the heck is that?
What is that?
You got a rear sight and a front sight. What looks like on the bottom of the gun. One of the great things about a muzzleloader is you can get creative with your projectile. But one of the bad things about a muzzleloader is you just got the one shot. And then it takes you a long time to reload.
So therefore, you couldn't turn it that way to shoot it.
No, sir. It'd be upside down. So instead,
you grab her here, rotate to the next barrel.
Oh my goodness, the whole barrel. There's actually two barrels. That's why we mentioned the two sights. Flips over, so you actually load what would be the equivalent of two rifle barrels. It is two rifle barrels. You load them both. And then when you fire one, rather than having to stop, put the rifle buttstock on the ground, pour in more powder, put in your wad, put in your projectile, and tamp it down, instead of all of that in between, you just flip the whole barrel like a revolver cylinder turning, but you do a complete 180.
Yeah.
Put the new barrel in front of the hammer and fire again.
That's cool, man. I bet you could take it even a step further than that. You could probably have 4 barrels on that thing.
The weight might be a concern, but
how heavy is that thing?
This one is,
it's
a little
fairly manageable.
It's a little heavier than a normal one,
Yeah.
but still manageable. I would love the premise of a 3 or 4 shot one, although I think your challenge in design would be the weight.
What does warranted mean?
Well,
it's on the whatever that
covered by the Liberty Tree Guarantee.
There it is.
I don't know.
I'd say that's the probably the action maker, because actually this is made by Numerich Firearms. And here's the thing: if you want one of these, you better come down and get it, because they don't make them anymore.
I've never seen one.
Right.
Absolutely incredible.
So also, with that being said, and I can imagine this, because you got to think the guys that actually use these type of firearms, even load. I don't know if anybody has seen Last of the Mohicans, but they're running after elk and they're reloading muzzle loaders on the fly while they're running.
Yeah.
This has 2 ramrods. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's some guys out there that probably load 2 barrels at one time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is, you got to imagine, you put in each component, and you could drop 2 musket balls in at the same time.
Right.
You could use 2 ramrods at the same time, although I imagine it would take a great deal of practice to be proficient at that.
Yeah.
But the really cool thing about Blackpowder is there's a few things about it. One is it does not require an ATF background check. So This is a way that people who unfortunately have had their gun rights taken away, obviously we don't want them to use one irresponsibly, but it'll allow them to get into sporting.
Right.
It'll also sort of exempts you from some regulatory things like traveling across state lines, like having this shipped to you.
Yeah.
So if you order one of these things, we can send it straight to your house.
And that one was a manufactured one, right? That wasn't wasn't a custom made.
Right.
It was manufactured.
So the consignor, what did he tell you when he handed you this next one?
He goes, have you ever seen a gun like this? And now we've all been in that situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody's going to come up to you, and you may be in a hurry, or you may have your mind somewhere, and like, man, did you see that? And you're like, yeah, and you have absolutely no idea what they were talking about.
Yeah. And the truth is, while we do see a lot of guns and we have a lot of experience with them, we don't want to be an idiot. We don't want to say, I don't know what you're talking about. So, somebody says, you ever seen one like this? And you're thinking, hey, hang on, Hot Rod. I've probably seen one, But then what did he say next?
So then he handed it to me, and I looked at it, and I was like, no, I've never seen one. And he goes, well, if you would have said you had, I'd have called you a liar.
And this one, engraved right on the top, it is, you read it, Gary.
It says,
you read it.
Burnett's Bastard, number 3.
And don't worry, we checked. That's not one of the 7 words you can't say on the radio. And we only say it because it's literally the title of the gun.
Right, that's a quote.
That is the name of it. And the reason it might be named that is because this is made of quite the eclectic collection of parts. So you have... we're talking about a handgun here.
Mm-hmm.
So all these other ones we mentioned are long guns or rifles or shotguns. This is a pistol of sorts. Now, what you have is an octagon muzzleloader style barrel.
Looks like a 1911.
But hey, look at you!
Look at me!
The frame of this thing is a 1911. So someone has built a Blackpowder bastard child of a 1911. So it's taken this frame and mated it with this muzzleloading pistol barrel, and you've got the lower receiver of a 1911 semi-auto pistol, probably the most popular semi-auto pistol of the modern era, the gun that served from World War II until now, pretty much the longest running handgun in American and world history. But it's designed to function as a muzzleloader. And let's pop that magazine out.
Pop it out.
This is the best.
This is the best part of the whole thing. So what would a muzzleloader need with a magazine? Let's see.
Secret compartment.
Now, that is a 1911 magazine as well.
But, of course, it doesn't load regular rounds. So what do we have?
We have 45 caliber balls.
It's turned like a freaking Pez dispenser. It's got your musket balls down in the magazine. Stay with us on the Gun Shop Show.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch. I'm Peter Thiel.
I'm Rob Brown.
And I'm Steve Scott. I'm Dalton Evans. I'll tell you what, the Show Us Your Rack promotion, which we're doing here at News Talk KZRG with our good friends at Liberty Tree Guns, your opportunity to win an awesome Beretta Tika T3X bolt action hunting rifle.
Plus $500, and all you have to do is show us your rack. And we mean rack like that.
And when you go out and you harvest your deer,
very good.
Take a good picture of its head. Enter it at newstalkkzrg.com, and you're in line to win this amazing contest.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be from this year's. If you have one from previous years that you know is one heck of a fine rack, you can win with it as well, because it counts about how many of your friends really dig your rack.
Bada bing, bada boom. Hey, again, newstalkkzrg.com. Thanks to our good friends at Liberty Tree Guns and the Gun Shop Show for allowing us to be a part of their fun.
Now, show us your rack. Go. Steve. No, don't do it.
Buckle up, because belts just got better. With Core Essentials, the perfect fit every time. With 40 plus sizing positions, styles for any situation. Whether in the boardroom, crushing sales and taking names, on your next adventure, in the great outdoors, or when you're done for the day and ready to relax. Get your perfect fit with Core Essentials.
Kids are curious by nature. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home by doing these simple tasks. Consider gun locks and/or gun safes for storage of firearms. Don't leave your guns unattended where children could reach them. Discuss with your children the rules of firearm safety. Sign your kids up for hunter safety classes. Firearm safety in the household is your responsibility. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home. For more information, visit JasperCountySheriff.org.
This just in. Huge cave found beneath the heart of the city. Spelunkers shared tales of an underground cavern system in Carthage, Missouri. Locals report the entrance to be at 10th and Garrison.
Cave Gang Pizza. Stop in and enjoy wings, wood-fire pizza made with local ingredients, and our full bar. Bring the whole gang and uncover a legend.
The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. What is it? We don't know. The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. Here we go, it's the Gun Shop Show.
Brace yourself.
Let me tell you a story not long ago. High on the mountain in Idaho, I was living free. Some sort of shotgun to the deputy. Oh, don't shoot me down, don't shoot me down, don't shoot me down, don't shoot me down. I got a wife and kids on a Ruby Ridge. They gonna shoot me down, don't shoot me down, gonna shoot me down, don't shoot me down, gonna shoot me down. I got a wife and kid on a Ruby Ridge. They gonna shoot me down. They shot my good dog, they shot my boy, my only son, my pride and joy. They left my wife dead on the floor, holding our baby in the cabin door. Don't shoot me down, don't shoot me down,
The Gun Shop Show, and that's what I am for Halloween. Scariest thing for gun store owners.
You made a good point earlier when you were talking about how when you want to be something scary, it should be something that's scary to you.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that if the ATF shows up, you'll probably drop several deuces in your draws.
I did. Mm-hmm. And I said, "Welcome to the store. I plan to cooperate with you fully." And she said, "Do you plan to clean yourself up, or am I going to smell that the whole time?" And I said, "Ma'am, be prepared to smell that the whole time."
Yeah, this just oozes out of me.
Yeah. Actually, in reality, the compliance wing of the ATF that deals with gun stores was plenty cool with us. Now, it's nerve-wracking because you're, as a licensee, tasked with these challenging things of keeping very detailed records of everything that's been in your possession. And when they come say, "Hey, we're going to see if you made any mistakes in 10,000 instances in the last few years," it's of some concern. However, I don't get too worried because we are operating here in good faith.
Yeah.
And we work hard on training to instill in our staff to do it the right way, to do it in the spirit and the intent and the direct letter of the law when it comes to that stuff. So we haven't been in any means the victim of the ATF. And there are a lot of good, well-intended folks that work in the agency of the ATF.
Right. You know, they're not going there like, "We're going to take down all these law-abiding citizens."
No, unfortunately, though, it's like everything else. It's like some policies put in place by government agencies are a problem.
Right.
You know, it's like some of the things that police departments in big cities are doing are a problem. It doesn't mean that every single officer that's there is a bad person or has hate in their heart. In fact, the vast majority of them are not that way.
Right. It's the bad apples. They somehow become the umbrella for every person there.
It's something about the government. It's like in its nature to go bad. You know, it doesn't mean that the people, every person is. It's like the agency is the entity of whatever agency. If its function is to control the behavior of others, it inevitably gets steered in a way that's not good for the citizens. And I don't, you know, honestly, we spent 8 years under Obama selling guns like they were going to be gone tomorrow, and there wasn't really any gun control under the Obama administration. And then under the Trump administration, we have the most aggressive piece of gun control, which was the executive order ban on bump stocks. Now there is some what appears to be efforts to do interpretive restriction of what were currently being accepted as legal forms of gun ownership through the banning of certain types of AR and AK pistols, and the restriction, or at least temporarily the restriction on the use of pistol braces. And that's a problem. And it's not, you know, it is a problem because it's an infringement of our Second Amendment rights. Yeah. But it's also a problem for all of the people that it could turn into criminals. So typically, if something is made illegal, it doesn't happen retroactively. So, like, if you want to ban, let's just say you're in a state where it's legal to ride a motorcycle without a helmet, and somebody decides that they want to make it a rule you have to have a helmet. You don't go back and like find a photo of someone riding in the past without a helmet and say that you've committed a crime. The problem with this is you bought a pistol brace when everybody, including the ATF, said you could do it. In fact, put out letters that said, oh, we were wrong when we questioned it, you can have one. And then now to say, oops, if we interpret it this way, you're a felon. And in fact, they put out a cease and desist order for the manufacturer Q that they couldn't make it because it was an NFA item. And then Q was forced to advise their customers to take the gun apart so it would no longer be considered a short barrel rifle, which means there's at least some indication that people could be charged for being in possession of that, which is just not right. You know, it's just not right.
It ain't right.
Well, it isn't right. And I think it's easy to say that absolute power corrupts absolutely with the government. I mean, it may have been a noble cause in the beginning, but over time it's evolved into, a mile-thick book of rules that a lot of them are preemptive.
Yeah.
You know, it's not even rules that are put in place because of, like it's a crime to kill.
Yeah.
So if you own a gun, now you're a criminal because you own this gun or whatever, as if you have the intent to kill. So now you're breaking potentially 2 laws instead of the original, which is just you can't kill. So they just keep building up.
Like Minority Report, kind of.
We're in the Shover Drive. Which last week we were able to title the Jover Drive because we had Joe Jorgensen on. And what I thought was interesting is one of the books that shaped my worldview, she mentioned also, which was George Orwell's Animal Farm. And I think I can tell this without spoiling it because I'm going to urge you to go read this book. It's actually
great read.
It's short too. It's not a super thick book. It's not a lot of pages. But it's a great highlight of what Trevor said about absolute power. So it's from the perspective of animals on a small farm, and they decide one day that the power and the rule of the farmer is not fair, because the farmer takes from the animal. The farmer doesn't do some of the same things as the animal, so they're going to overthrow the reign of the farmer and run the farm themselves. And a lot of the different animals have the intent of doing it fair for the people, you know, which in this case are animals. But we're going to make it right for the people that live and exist on the farm. And then you start noticing that the people that are taking charge, the boldest amongst them, are the pigs. And then the pigs start to, things work for a while. And then it gets kind of, they start noticing everything's pretty fair, except for it's fairer to the pigs. And it gets worse until the power that the pigs wield, which they initially had just because somebody's got to take care of the business, right? And everybody trusted them to do it. And then I won't spoil the very end, but the end of the book indicates that absolute that you mentioned, that absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Right. Most people who, not most, I'm going to scale that back. In the beginning, it can seem that people who want to get into a position of power may be doing it with nobility in mind and righting wrongs. But once they get that power, things change for them. It's certainly one of the upsides of term limits when it comes to the president in this country is you have a termination date. Yeah. You know, you're not going past that date. I could say that a lot of our congressmen could probably use some of the same limitations when it comes to controlling our government. But
look out, Matt.
I find it interesting, some of the things you're telling me about Animal Farm, because I've never read it. But it's not, when you were telling me that the animals overthrow the farmer, like I would imagine that the farmer was the government, but from the sounds of it, it's like the people overthrew the power and then the people became in power and then they became corrupt. So now something else had to change.
That's exactly what happened. So
I'm an advocate of turnover in government nonetheless.
Yeah. I mean, I think there was a couple lessons in there. One is that, that sometimes you go out of the frying pan and into the fire when you have a revolution of ideas, but also just that it's not the individual, it's the nature of the position, and I can say that this is true. It works this way for me with my children and squirt guns or Nerf guns. So when they're shooting people with Nerf guns, I'm like, you know what? For the good of everyone here, I need to intervene. And so initially I'm thinking, I just need to take this away from them. Because they're not being polite with it. So I go get it, and I collect all the darts. And then as soon as it's in my hands, I have the immediate temptation to load it up and shoot somebody with it.
You start shooting the kids?
Yeah, I'm like, suckers! I got it right here. Yeah,
it's fun.
They're like, Dad, no. And I'm like, you better run.
You don't like it so much, do you?
Yeah.
And then before you know it, you're shooting your customers with them.
And they're like, Dad, no. I'm like, you better dodge if you don't like it. And then next thing you know, I'm the problem.
Well, an interesting thing, I recently listened to a Joe Rogan podcast, and it kind of harkens to your story of 1984, and they were talking about the intelligence of the founding fathers, and a lot of things they did is they anticipated that human nature to corrupt, and so they tried to build these things into our foundation to help keep that corruption from taking place over time.
And what I think we underestimate, and we certainly do in this climate, is there's people that say, America's not great, it never was great, and it has all these flaws. And there are flaws. However, despite those, it is by far the greatest experiment in human liberty that's happened.
That's right.
And has proven to be the most beneficial to the most amount of individuals of any system ever devised in the history of mankind. And time may still yet undo it and bring it down, but the reins that the founding fathers had the forethought to put on the system has given a lot of people a lot of great opportunity to live in a free country where the opportunity and the wealth is so abundant that we complain when we don't have air conditioning or
or internet.
Yeah, and the worst of us have it better than the majority of the world, which is a great gift that we've been given and we should not take for granted.
No, I certainly appreciate it. And for as many injustices that do exist in this country or in the world, period, it's still, you're right, better for the individual than anything else. And we're not done yet. And could it get messed up? Yeah, it could get messed up. But I think, our drive for liberty is going to help keep that from happening. Man yearns to be free.
Yeah, and we know that an absolute firewall against things that would be the enemy of liberty is the individual right to defend yourself from other individuals, from any evil force. And we might have wigs and funny hats and sunglasses on, but we still know that that's a big deal.
Absolutely.
And we still get excited every week to get on the radio and get on TV and talk to you about that. And we do it and have fun while we do it, but that doesn't mean that we don't recognize just how important that is to this overall thing that we cherish so much.
Right. When everything boils down, we'll go out like a blaze of glory.
Oh, we will. And, it's funny because we don't necessarily weed into this topic every week, but there's a reason that liberty is in the name of the business. There's a reason that the Liberty Tree is the symbol of our business. There's a reason why when you get that sticker, when you get that decal and you stick it on your car, there's a reason why it means something.
You're making a statement.
You're making a statement.
We're gathering around the idea of the tree.
Exactly. And I want to say thank you to our customers who, they know all this. And if we manage to preserve liberty, and the reason that I think we will is because you know that, and you've been getting ready. It amazes me when I hear people say, well, we'll just ban guns and then we won't have to worry about people having them. I'm like, all the smart people have been ready for a long time, right? Like, there's enough out there to relight any fire, any brush fire in the minds of men. There's more than enough training and supply and firepower to make that happen.
And without liberty, we're just tree guns, and that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, that's right.
And now, would that be guns made from trees or guns used to shoot trees?
I love that because I've had a lot of people say, hey, what are you going to do when Biden's president to ban all the guns? And I'm like, well, I'll find a way.
We'll fight it. I mean, it's not like it's over.
And also, Logan just gave us the answer. We'll just be tree guns. And we won't sell guns anymore. We'll just sell trees in the shape of guns.
How about freedom? How just trees that are you know what I'm saying. Get off my back, guys.
What? We actually don't know what you're saying.
I was trying to go the other way with it. Drop guns and it's Liberty Tree, but now you're selling trees that are liberty,
that are free
stuff.
Free trees.
Yeah,
but
tree guns.
Here's the thing. The great thing about this country is if legislation is put through, like, people don't give up and they're like, well, I guess that's it. We're going home. You know, like, the battle continues. It will always continue.
Yeah.
We will argue about topics. I mean, some of the most hot button topics are just, we're drawing a line, and it gets so fever pitched, but at some point a line will be drawn, and it could go one way or it could go the other, and it always keeps going back and forth. I mean, at one point you had to register your firearms in Missouri, right?
Yep.
Now you don't.
Right.
So, like, at one point you didn't, then you did, now you don't. You probably will again at some point, then you probably won't again at some other point. It's just, that's the nature of democracy.
Yeah. People are like, what are you going to do if Biden wins? And then it's not going to be like, closing time. Na, 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 na.
We switch over to Nerf guns. No. Honestly, we'll probably still be selling guns.
We will.
And people will be buying them hand over fist, just the same as they do now.
I'll just become
what it
a
is.
warlord at that point.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the arsenal.
Hey, since it's the show overdrive and stuff can go off the rails,
Yeah, we do whatever
is my
we want.
mic messed up?
Well, it seems like it was
I don't
fine, and
know.
then all of a sudden it sounds different.
You know,
what did
and
you
it
change?
Was when I picked it up, it's like, did I pop the?
Well, you were kind of talking into the side of it just then.
Hey, it's like it. Is when I picked it up to grab the sticker to make my dramatic.
Yeah, and you set it back down,
And
but
it was
looked like
it was pretty dramatic.
it looked like you were
Was it?
talking
Yeah,
into
it
the
was.
side of it, like this.
Yep.
I guess that
Let us
doesn't
know
really
in the
change
comments if that was dramatic.
Yeah, let us know. I feel like this is the most serious show overdrive we've ever had.
Well, yeah,
pretty
we're talking
serious.
about this topic,
You know-
and it's pretty serious.
You
But
know
I want to
what's
make
funny?
it.
I
I
mean-
want to make a declaration, guys.
Oh, make a declaration.
I want
Of
to make. No,
independence?
I want to make a suggestion.
Oh, wait a minute.
I
wait a
feel-
minute. That's a-
Well,
That's
it's a suggestion, but it's going to be about
Declare.
a declaration.
Okay.
Okay. So
I
here's
declare
my idea.
Bankrupt.
I think we need to redeclare independence from government agencies.
So I've had this idea.
Not on board?
No, listen.
Oh, okay.
This is a segue, but kind of really just on the same topic. I thought I would legit make our website in a way where when, hey, one of our gun tenders, Remington, Mr. Remington.
Steele?
That's his real name. Come on over, bro. We're in the show overdrive. All bets are off. Anything can happen.
Take your shirt off.
Sit down.
Yeah.
Take your shirt off.
Yeah. Don't
Put
say
on the
anybody's
headphones.
sensitive information, but just tell us what you need, bud.
Headphones.
Oh, I gotta put these on.
Yeah, you do.
And let's talk.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Get in here.
You're now on
What
the
you
show.
need?
By the way, his name is not Gary.
It is not.
No, it says Gary on the screen, but that's false advertising.
I could be Gary for a day.
Let's see it. Let's see your best Gary.
Human.
We'll go back to the human meats. Deep fried bicep.
Bicep. You have something for Logan.
Yeah, what you need?
I do. I need your help working out an online order.
What time is it?
You got to do it, bro.
Okay, I'll go do it.
You know what? We'll hold down the fort. This is the show overdrive. Anything can go.
Anything.
Good luck, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Remington.
man.
Thanks,
Come
guys.
back.
Will do.
I'll finish telling you what I was going to say.
Okay.
I wanted to make our website so that when you order a gun, you can pick which liberal politician you want to send a letter to like thumb your nose at the fact that you bought a gun anyway.
What about, I like the idea, but I think we should go classical with it and do the thumbing of the teeth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, here, I'm going to show you. It's like this.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying now?
Yeah,
You know
I don't
what that
know
is?
what that means exactly.
Oh, dude, that's colonial.
That's how old the insult is?
That's the colonial stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But
I'm going
what
to double check
thinking
my
is,
sources
like,
on
you order your gun, and it says, which liberal politician would you like to mock? And you pick Chuck Schumer. And then it literally writes a letter for you that says, Dear Chuck Schumer, you didn't want me to buy a gun, but I did it anyway. Ha ha, joke's on you. Signed, your name. And we'll literally put it in the mail and mail it to his congressional office for you.
I like that idea. I think another idea, too, on top of that, would be to make guns with, instead of like Donald Trump on them, we put like Nancy Pelosi on them.
The Nancy Pelosi
edition. Yeah, the Chuck Schumer edition.
There's a problem with that.
I don't follow.
There's a problem with that.
What?
They wouldn't work.
Well, like they won't let you do that?
No.
What? We can have their home addresses, but we can't put their names on our guns?
if you made a gun and named it the Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, it wouldn't work?
It wouldn't work.
Get it? Yeah, I do, man. That's a good one.
You know what else I like?
What do you like?
I like the fact that we dressed up in Halloween costumes and then had our least ridiculous episode ever.
Right.
In our most serious one.
Also, I couldn't help but notice that I changed my wig in the middle of the show.
Yeah, you did.
And
I didn't even...
No one said a thing. I'm only a little bit offended.
I thought you wanted to be incognito.
Well, yeah, you're right. Dang it.
You could have just let that be a nugget, bro, and you had to bust it
Actually, what you just heard, dream sequence.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Not real. Pretend that you weren't listening on the podcast and you did not hear what he just said. And if you're just listening to audio, we're not wearing wigs.
Mm-mm.
Well, I'm not wearing a hat with ATF crudely taped on the front of it.
Definitely not right now.
No.
But yeah, dude, the whole thumbing of the teeth thing was a traditional way of basically giving somebody
one of the 7 words.
Zafinga.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gary said something during the break after he was leaving when he showed us this bastard number 3.
Yeah.
It's funny because the best thing that he said all time, he waited till we were off the air to say it.
Yeah.
He said, "This gun reminds me of that song. He's an old hippie and he doesn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Should he hang on to the past or go on with the new?" And that's kind of what's happening with the bastard number 3.
It's like past meets more recent past.
Yeah. At one time, this was a amalgamation of modern technology and slightly older technology.
That's a Frankenstein gun right there.
Absolutely, and it's something you would want to own just to say you did.
It's pretty cool. I like those octagonal barrels. Is that one? That one's octagonal, isn't it?
I
thought so.
Generally called hex.
Oh, well, hex is 5. How many?
Hex is...
Pretty sure hex is
8.
5, right?
No, hex is 6. 6.
Oh, okay, yeah, hex is 6. What did I say? I said 8, right? I meant that.
You said octagonal.
Because octagonal, you know I said, is 8.
You know what's interesting is this. I'm looking at an 8-sided barrel.
Oh, really?
But literally everyone calls them a hex barrel.
Well, they're saying it wrong.
They're saying it wrong. You should correct them.
Octo barrel. Well, maybe hex barrels actually are 5. But hex wrenches, well, I don't know. Those have 6 sides.
Yeah, hex is definitely 6.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking of pent.
Right.
Pentagon is 5.
Dodeca barrel gone. Dodeca.
We should make that.
Well, there's a barrel right here that's dodeca, bro.
How many? 20,000 sides?
No, it's 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, yeah. That's dodeca.
Dodecahedron.
And then you've got the octagon barrel. But yeah, I mean, hex just may be a way to identify it because it's not round, you know. It's of a hexagonal nature. I don't know, man. I'm really just trying to fill in the holes here because who knows what our forefathers were thinking when they were like, you know what, round, old hat, we need to go squared edges. People, that's what the people are clamoring for.
Yeah.
Squared-ish.
That's the new thing.
Edges. You know, it doesn't roll. And I betcha that's where it came from.
Dude, you know what? Our new store is going to be so dope.
Oh, yeah.
So dope.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be...
I can't wait to show it to our Gun Shop Show viewers and fans.
Well, maybe one of these days we'll teleport there again.
That's right.
If we can get the teleporter machine working again.
Yeah, it broke down on us.
Ran out of juice.
Well, there's just that certain substance that you got to have to run it, and I haven't had a chance to get back to that place where I got the certain substance.
Well, you don't want to let out trade secrets, do you?
No.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, that's probably.
I've already had enough heat on me with the whole prisoner monkey thing.
Well, I mean, you're trying to get clearance from all these politicians to find out if it's legitimate or not. But the men in black, they're real.
Yeah.
They're not just galaxy defenders.
No.
And they are teleportation oppressors.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Get out of here, MIBs. Get out of our face.
Make sure you join the Gun Shop Show fan group.
Towards the end of the show, if you're still here,
if you've made
join
it
us.
this far and you haven't left in absolute disgust, then you definitely belong in the Gun Shop Show fan group.
Speaking of which, my browser just was like, not going to do it anymore.
Yep.
It just decided that it's not going to work. So I was going to pull up the group and check out a couple of posts. One of which, what was I thinking here? The fire guy. Remember Fire Guy? Sitting by the fire?
Oh, yeah.
But my browser's, it's pretty much just this. So, not happening today, folks.
That
Thank you,
looks like
Fire
the light
Guy.
that you shouldn't go toward.
Right.
That was, oh, man. Is it something EO? Mike
Leong?
No. Mike EO. Mike. First name Mike. Last name something EO on the end.
Denio?
Nope.
I'm going there now.
Man, I feel bad because
It's Mikeo, Mikeo Long. So it's
Mikeo Long.
Mikeo or Mikeo
Long. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name, but you have been a great fan. So many great fans in our group, by the way. I mean,
you want to hear it?
Yeah, play that.
Well, it's too nasty to do anything outside, so I figured I'd build me a fire, eat me a chocolate cupcake, get out and give some attention to some much neglected firearms, and go back and explore some archives of the Gun Shop Show. Have a good day, kids.
Have a good day, kids. Love it.
Yeah, that's great. If you are doing something and putting on the Gun Shop Show, we would love to have that submitted in the group and could very well play it here on the Gun Shop Show.
Yeah, normally we'd use our playback technology to put it on full screen, but we do what we have to.
Oh, you know what? We're back, baby!
And you know what else?
What?
It's a great place to get some community in the gun world. A lot of stuff goes on there.
Yeah, man, we've had a lot of great posts.
Yeah.
A lot of great activity going on in the group.
So, coming up this next week, when you come in the store, you're going to notice some changes. One of the big things you're going to notice is these crates upon crates full of merch, product, talking accessories, ammo, everything. And it's going to have this blue dot on it. Okay, I'm breaking this out early because the majority of the stuff's going to be out next week. Anyway,
the vest.
When you find that, it's got a blue dot on it, you're going to be like, what the heck is this blue dot all about?
Yeah. Well, here, just so that folks know what we're referencing.
Yeah, this is what you're going to see with your eyeballs.
Hang on.
Is your browser crapping out again?
No. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. That's a blue dot.
So you're going to find just any given item in this in these baskets, these crates, placed throughout the store.
Yeah.
And you're going to pull that out and you're going to say, this is a great product. I need this. But what does this blue dot mean? And what do you figure it means, Trevor?
It means
Does it mean
awesome.
that it's not protected by the Liberty Tree Guarantee?
Man, I tried that already, and you were like, "No, it's protected."
It's protected.
And I was
Everything's
like, "All right, man, that's honorable of you." And so, yeah, it's all protected by the LTG,
Liberty Tree Guarantee,
the LTGG,
and then additionally, you're going to look at that, and you're going to find out it's 20% off. 20% off, and you're going to be like, Hot biscuits and butter.
Mm-hmm.
That's 20% off.
Which is a screaming deal.
And that is the reason why we're considering taking Logan off the show.
Yeah.
And that pretty much wraps it up in a nutshell.
I actually wanted to bring that up to you guys.
He's leaving the show, guys.
I'm going to have my own show.
Oh, yeah? What's it going to be called?
The Show Gun Shop.
Oh.
So
That's interestingly close to the gun shop show.
Yeah.
No,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you have a gun shop?
Yep.
To do it in?
Mm-hmm.
Is it this one?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Eli's a cool dude, but I don't know if he's that cool. Wouldn't it be great if, like, in the background of your or mine shot is Logan doing his show?
Speaking of ways to get the show, you're going to want to get that podcast, my friends.
We doing some ASMR or something?
Unintentionally.
You're going to want to get that podcast.
What is ASMR? It's when you talk like this. Why? It's really relaxing. People love it, and they want to give you money for it.
Yes, it's true.
That's a thing.
Yes, it's totally a thing. Yes. It's a real thing.
I assume that you can do the opposite and also get the same result.
Like brash,
Scream.
like hey, hey. That's what. That's basically what metal music is. And yeah, it was popular before ASMR.
Oh,
now
dude.
I want to do ASMR versions of metal songs.
Anyway, get the podcast. Any of your popular podcast downloaders. We're talking. You can talk about Spotify. You can talk about Pandora.
Mhm.
You can talk about YouTube Music.
Yep.
You can talk about
Google
Stitcher,
Podcasts.
Google Podcast,
Podbean,
iTunes,
TuneIn,
iHeartRadio.
Did you guys say Spotify?
That's right. Yep.
Question mark. iHeartRadio.
We
Maybe.
folks don't know this, okay? But Joe Rogan went exclusive with Spotify for his
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
We are also on Spotify's podcast, so we are partners with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, we're basically sponsored by Joe Rogan.
Basically.
Yeah, basically Joe Rogan's going to be on the show next week.
Yep.
He doesn't know it,
Yeah.
but I'm a
We're
poet.
going to go ahead and send an email.
So we have a question in the Gun Shop Show Facebook group that I think is interesting.
Okay, what is it?
Let's hear it.
Previous vice president poll. Who would you trust behind you with a loaded firearm? Dick Cheney or Joe Biden?
You know what someone said? You talking old
Pre-dementia?
Pre-dementia of Joe Biden or 2020 Joe Biden? And I'm like, I like that. What a fair analysis.
Is that not the same Joe Biden, guys?
I'm like, 2001 Joe Biden, I'd probably take my odds on not getting blasted in the face Dick Cheney style.
Right.
But now, I don't know. It's not the same. Everyone knew Dick Cheney was a little bit unstable. And I don't know if Joe Biden means to be unstable. He just...
Isn't he a robot?
No,
no. You're thinking of a lizard person.
Oh, he's a lizard person.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
both.
Yeah, he's basically a robot lizard.
So you could be a
person.
robotic lizard person? I'm still catching up on my lingo.
It's funny
Right.
because it seems like if you're going to make a humanoid robot, it'd be easier just to go ahead and make them human-like. Seems like extra steps to make them human-like with a few lizard cells.
That's the businessman analysis. Like, why would you take all that extra?
Like, you got to take the path of least resistance and
Right.
market deployment on this.
It's about principle, man.
On this biological android. Like, you just got to get it right the first time. Get it to market efficiently.
Well, I imagine it's more like a Scooby-Doo villain reveal when it comes to this guy. Like, they're going to rip his face off, and he's going to be a lizard person.
And then someone else is going to reach in and rip that face off.
It's a robot. So it's not about practicality.
Yeah.
They're just
And they're
trying to
gonna
conceal.
rip that face off into Donald Trump. He trolled all of us.
And then you pull it off, and it's Joe Biden again.
Oh, my God. Joe Bidenception.
It just keeps going. But somebody here says, I'd trust Ronnie Millsap or Stevie Wonder before I would trust either one of those guys.
two. Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure what Ronnie Millsap has to do with this because I'm Ronnie Millsap. No, I'm Ronnie Millsap dumb.
He's afflicted with the same condition as Stevie Wonder.
Okay, I get that now.
Yeah.
As soon as I Googled him, he's wearing glasses.
Play There's a Ronnie Millsap song called "Stranger in My House," and he's like, "There's a stranger in my house," and something about something that I can't see, and he's blind.
Yeah, we know, man. Hey,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm gonna speed it up.
Yeah.
And that way, maybe we'll stay under the radar on
Yeah, oh,
this.
good call.
That's smart.
Probably not, but we're gonna find out.
Yeah. If we get kicked off, that kind of sounds better like this.
Yeah, a lot of songs do. Even this show sounds better at 1.5 times speed.
There's a silence here between us I've never heard before, and I can't find the love in her eyes anymore. There's a changes going on. I'm beginning to understand. When I'm holding her, I swear I feel the presence of another man. There's a stranger in my house, somebody here that I can't see. Stranger in my house, somebody here trying to take her away from me.
Now, I don't know enough about Ronnie Millsap. Has he always been blind?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes more sense
You
than...
know, someone told me, I haven't confirmed this, it's just like a friend told me that frequently at his concerts, he would do this bit where he came out and he would walk out and tell the crowd to tell him when he's too close to the edge of the stage.
Like, what?
Yeah, and then like we could just really go on about how he doesn't know if he's about to fall off the stage or not.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a good friend to that
would
guy.
be terrifying. You know what? I feel like no one else appreciated as much as me. Did you know that the guitarist for the band U2 fell off the stage? And do you know what his stage name is?
I do know what it is.
How is that not the...
That's front page news,
right?
man.
That's what I think. Like, I didn't even hear it. Like, I didn't even make the late night bits. And I'm like, you've never been spoon-fed a better joke than that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes itself.
No idea what you're talking about.
So, you know the band U2, right?
I do know
Bono.
the band U2. Yep. Bono.
Do you know their guitarist's name? Like, you know who Slash is from Guns N' Roses, right?
Sure.
So they have a cool name for their guitarist that's like Slash.
Oh, I just saw it, dude. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so when he steps off, it's almost like you expect that, like he's thinking there's another step there, and it's like, no, there's not. I hope he's okay, but
yeah, he's fine.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's some classic comedy right
His
there.
name is Edge.
He took it over the edge. He had to change his name.
He got too close to the edge.
Yeah.
Don't push me because I'm too...
They changed his name to Off. Ladies and gentlemen, Off!
Gravity got the best of him.
Gravity always wins.
But anyway, I want to tell you that someone else said that they would trust Elmore Fudd more than the other two. Then guy comes in and asks, is that Elmer's older brother?
Yeah. Good stuff.
No. Twin brother to L.S. Fudd.
Hey, well, you know what I want to do? And we don't have to do this right now, but I want to tell hilarious jokes and bomb them intentionally.
So that's not what you've been doing this whole time?
Yeah, those weren't jokes, man. That was just me.
Yeah, okay. So you were trying not to bomb them?
Let's see. What's one? What's a classic joke?
One of your jokes?
Okay. But what's a classic one?
Oh no.
Knock knock. Who's there?
Oh yeah. Nolan did knock knock. Who's there? Banana.
Banana who?
Yeah, over and over, and then he's like, knock knock.
Who's there?
I'm not gonna say banana. Like, that's not the joke.
He put a spin on it. I did the first time I did that for your kids. It was like it blew their mind.
I know.
I felt like a grizzled comedian.
I
at
know.
that
It's
point.
just my dad jokes make me feel like such a comedic genius.
Mhm.
They're so simple.
Well, my joke last week about the fake guns. I've been meaning to talk to you about this, Logan. You kind of stepped on my joke, and
Did I really?
Yeah,
Dude, I'm a bad person.
Yeah, you stepped all over it. It was like you stepped in dog poo.
Yeah.
And then you stepped on my joke and got dog poo all over it.
I thought that when I was stepping on the dog poo, that was your joke.
Right. Well, just so you know, I'm show mad at you now.
Oh.
I'm mad at you on the show only now.
I'm sorry.
So on the show, I'm mad at you.
Show mad at you. I'm so very mad at you.
I'm so mad at you in the Shover Drive.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Man.
Speaking of falling off the edge of the stage, that's what's happening right meow.
There's a stranger in my house.
He's mate, letting it all hang out.
What was...
Huh?
Oh, the chill house. That's what I wanted to make.
You talking about...
It's a chill house.
The not so chill house?
Yeah. Yeah, that's... Yeah.
They're keeping it tense in the chill house.
Oh, man. I was over there the other day, and it was not chill.
You went to the chill house?
No. It felt like I was there, but I was on the other side of the wall.
Right. If you step in that room, you're basically there.
You're basically
audibly
in the chill house.
Yeah. For a chill house,
there's
pretty.
a stranger in my house.
Yeah. Who's that?
I don't know. I can't see him.
Oh.
Oh, crap.
Guys.
You're stringing me along on that one,
Guys.
man.
Uh-huh.
It's time to say goodbye.
We should say goodbye, man.
No.
Hey, I have an idea.
Don't let us go.
We should say goodbye.
I got a better idea.
But first, guys.
Yeah.
How about that?
What is that?
It says when you're
absolutely positively have to go to town and your leg is still on the mend.
He's got a walker with the revolver.
He's certainly not so quick draw.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. That's pretty cool.
Pretty slow draw
cool.
McGraw.
I just want to give you guys props. You are quite the Halloweenies.
Oh.
Are you talking to us,
man? I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I liked your costume the best, though.
Yeah, that was
easily the most scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to be scary.
It's pretty cute, man. It's cute. Is that the cue?
Oh, that's the cue. Speaking of cue.
Next week, chips.
Do you prefer chips plain or with dip? Find out next week.
On the Gun Shop Show.
Smile.
Blah, 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 blah.